It is touchdown time in Texas.
Here they come again.
Grisham again, same play. He's got the 15, he's got the 10. Dragging a man to the 5, kiss him goodbye. It is touchdown time in Texas.
You know, our goal now is to win, period.
61 yards.
Catch us if you can.
Howe Bulldogs football is brought to you by Cavender Home Theater, Bill French Properties, Sweetie Pies by Karen, Howe Mercantile, Sonic of Howe, Scoggins Funeral Home, Carrie's Coffee Company, Abby's Restaurant, 3G Brand, and Micah Belden Attorney.
Howe, your Bulldogs are headed to the regional championship game for the first time since 1990.
Catch us if you can.
And now let's go to the broadcast booth with Monty Walker, Michael Mosier, and Stephen Braswell.
For the first time in 25 years, the Howe Bulldogs have found themselves as back-to-back district champions. After an improbable come-from-behind win last week versus Edgewood, the task gets even tougher tonight versus a really good West Rusk team from East Texas. The Raiders will feature senior quarterback Dee Starling, who's always looking for the big play, and that oftentimes comes from his slot back DJ Hicks, who averages over 20 yards per catch and 9 yards per carry. Wideouts Breon Thurman and Kevin Jones each average right at 30 yards per catch. When West Rusk isn't slinging the ball around for big gainers, they're handing it off to their big bowling running back, Neil Ballard, who rushed for over 1,836 yards so far in the season and 15 touchdowns. This offense is all about speed, and they are the antithesis of Dale West's Howe Bulldogs offensive philosophy. As you know, the Dogs like to run and run and run, and West doesn't even like to utter the words pass, much less act upon it. Howe quarterback Brandon Wall has thrown 15 passes all season long. Starling will do that tonight. Howe has rushed for an unbelievable 4,058 yards and are averaging a school record 36 points per game. It's old school versus new school. Howe, a 1957 Chevy, and West Rusk, a 2015 Mustang. The Coaches Show is coming up next here from Forney.
When it comes to Howe, Bill French Properties is 100% invested to the economic and residential growth for Howe. They also provide commercial and farm and ranch services. Bill French Properties provides buyer representation free of charge and provides every service from mortgages to credit repair to skilled craftsmen and inspections. Visit BillFrenchProperties.com or give him a call at 903-893-BILL. Bill French Properties, realtors that you can trust. Servicing Grayson and North Collin County.
I'm attorney Micah Belden, and I will always be a Bulldog. I'm a proud graduate of Howe High School. The great leadership from our teachers and coaches helped me be able to become one of the few certified criminal law specialists in Texas. While I love the black and white, in trials, everything is not always that way. If you've been investigated, arrested, or charged with a crime in North Texas, you need to call me now at 903-744-4252 for a free consultation. I'm board certified by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization, Principal Office, Sherman, Texas.
Welcome to the Bulldogs Coaches Show, featuring Howe Athletic Director and Head Coach Zach Hudson. The Coaches Show is brought to you by Joe Brown for Grayson County District Attorney.
All right, Coach, congratulations on a big, huge win last week. Down 27-0 at one point. What was going through your head as they stripped the ball away and ran it back 95 yards to go up 27-0?
Well, we all, as coaches, knew we would be okay. We were moving the football on offense. And when that's happening, you know, you always feel, you know, a sense of you don't have that sense of urgency yet. You know, when you struggle to move the ball on offense, there is a sense of urgency. But defensively, we were struggling a little bit just due to the fact of the speed. They had two kids that were faster than any two receivers we've seen all year other than Pottsboro. So it's been 5 weeks since they've seen that type of speed on the outside. And I knew we would adjust. I just was hoping it wouldn't take as long as it did. But, you know, we give them a short field. You know, we've never statistically been very good when we give teams short fields, and we statistically been very good when we had a short field. So, you know, it's one of those things that, you know, we look at and, you know, we just had to make sure we weren't in a bad situation.
What was the turning point? You know, you fight your way back, but at some point there had to be that moment of, hey, you know, we're done with this and let's move on. What was that turning point?
Well, I credit the offense and, you know, what they did. They got the ball back and went right down and scored, I think, in about 1 minute and 50 seconds. And we were moving the ball. We knew we could move the ball. We knew we were going to give up some points the other night just due to the fact of their athleticism. And their quarterback was very good, and they had a really good receiver. So we didn't think it would come to where we had to outscore them. But, you can figure a good team's going to score a touchdown or two during the game. So, when they rattle off 27, it's a little different. But, our kids were moving the football. We did make 2 stops in the middle of all that. It just the punts got muffed. And, it's not that we weren't playing good. It was just little errors that led into a big scenario for them. And we knew we'd get it fixed. The kids that were making the errors, they weren't. It was just one of those nights. And so we knew the kids would fix that part of it. And once we fixed that part of it, it was fine. But there was no real big turning point. We just had to, make sure the kids did not freak out. And I was proud of our coaches to make sure, we didn't go scrambling and go doing things that we don't do. Just to try to make something happen. We stuck to our game plan, stuck to what we did, and the kids stuck with it, and that calms those kids down and lets them have some confidence in what we do.
Now, most time at halftime, it's more about making adjustments than big movie speeches and things like that. But a lot of people have asked me and want to ask you, was there any kind of a halftime speech or motivational speech at halftime for those kids?
There's always a speech, whatever that might be. It's different for every game. Again, it was a little more calming, and then right before we go out, you try to get them up again just because their bodies and minds had rested for a little bit. But, we get out of the locker room with 8-9 minutes all the time. If we make adjustments, we know what adjustments we're going to make the minute we walk in there. So, we made our adjustments, and our kids did a good job of taking them and applying them on the field. And, it was just one of those nights that we just had to overcome a little bit, but we didn't freak out. And, the coolest part was, I didn't feel like anybody in that stadium had a doubt of what was about to happen. And that's a good feeling. We've all been around places and been on sidelines that you knew what was going to happen, and it was not a good thing. And you never felt that at all. You always felt we were in the ball game, and they wasn't going to get too far out of hand for us, and we were going to be able to score enough points to win and get enough stops to win. So it was a good feeling. What
does that say about the character of your kids? Not only did they have to fight back to regain the lead, but then they had to regain the lead the second time. And there was no letdown even when things went bad the second time. Talk about that.
Well, you try to prepare them, especially at halftime. You're still down 2 scores. You try to let them know what it's going to take to win. You're going to have to go out there and score the first drive. You're going to set the tone. But you also tell them that they're a good offense, but we can't allow more than 1 score. If we allow more than 1 score, we're going to struggle to win the football game, and because that's a 21-point swing, and they're a good football team, so they have to understand that sometimes people will score, and you hope they don't, but if they do, you have to have a plan, and the kids have to have enough calming about them to know that next time we come out, we just can't allow this again. And they did. They did exactly what we all asked them to do, and it went. If you take away the first quarter, it went just about how we thought it would go. If you just have to take away the first quarter.
Let's take a quick time out and let Grayson County District Attorney Joe Brown tell you about his up-and-coming campaign.
It's a great place to live, and it's a place I want to make better. We have a theater here, we have a symphony, we have all of the amenities that make this a great place to live. How do we continue to progress as a community while still holding on to those conservative values that we grew up with? And it's a question that I ask myself. After 15 years in office, it's not just a job. It can't be. Megan and I have decided to raise our kids here. We're invested in this community. When I think about my older daughter playing sports, my younger daughter in theater, and think about what their life will be, I want them to have the same great experiences that I did growing up. And I want them to know that their dad did everything that he possibly could to keep this community safe, to make it a great place to grow up. Grayson County is growing. There's no way to deny that. And with that comes the opportunity for progress. Together, we can make sure it's the kind of progress that a community as great as ours deserves.
Coach, you've won 6 in a row. an emotional win, is there a fear of letdown?
Not on this one. There's kind of it kind of brought us all back to reality a little bit and know that we're not invincible. We're not just going to walk out there and beat people. So I don't think there's going to be a letdown. As emotional, I think, as it was for people in the stands, it wasn't as emotional for the guys on the field and the coaches because we had a belief and we knew it's harder to see in the bleachers when you're not on the field and you're not with these kids and know what we can do every play and things like that. But we knew we were going to come back, and we really did. And so as emotional as it was in the bleachers, and as much as everybody was wore out in the bleachers, it was another game, and we should have handled the game better in the first quarter, but that didn't work out. But we won the next three, and you win 3 out of 4 quarters, you usually win. So. It wasn't as emotional as it might think or seem, but it kind of made us want to start grinding some more and get better. So that's a good thing.
West Rusk, they are 10-1, just as you, and live off the big play. You have a young defense. Does that play in to your mind at all about the big play with those young kids on defense?
We make adjustments to try to stop big plays, and we did it against Leonard. They kind of live off a big play, and we stopped it. Again, people like Leonard, people like West Rusk they have enough athletes. They're going to score some points here and there, but you have to stop the big play and you have to make them earn it. And so, saying that, we're going to do some things to try to prevent that. But our kids have to do what they're comfortable doing. If we try to get them out of their comfort zone, we're going to have a long night. So, we're going to run and we're going to strike you. And that's what our kids do. That's what they believe in. That's what they're good at. So, saying that, it's just going to be one of those games we got to, every week we got to get better. And the opponents are getting better every week. And so we're going to have to step up and, get some key stops early and try to take over the game a little earlier than we did last week.
Let's give you the scenario of athleticism. And let's put West Rusk in a room with all their athletes. And let's put the Howe Bulldogs in a room with all of their athletes, put them all together, and let's take a coach from another school who's never seen anybody play and let those coaches just pick players by athleticism and by what they look like they could do. How many Howe Bulldogs would get picked out of that group?
It's probably 3. Most teams we play have better athletes than us if you want to line us up and run 100. Most of them have bigger kids than we do. We have a couple of bigger ones, but after the Matt and Austin, you take them out of the equation. Our offensive line averages probably, even with Clay in there, it probably averages 185 pounds. And so, we're not very big, but you can't replace heart. You can't replace a belief system. You can't replace any of that. And the kids think they can win. And you're never going to win a game if you don't think you can win it. And they think they can win. They know they can win. And they have the tool set. And I think we're doing what these kids are good at. And too many times you find in high schools that people tend to not do what their kids are good at. And I think we've found that combination with this group of kids. And it's just this particular group. It could change next year. It could change in 5 years, whatever it might be. But this particular group is very good at doing what we're doing. And it's a philosophy. It's a mindset. It's everything. And you can't replace that. And when somebody smaller than you comes up and hits you for 4 straight quarters, you get pretty tired of it real quick. And that's what we see happening week in, week out. By the middle of the third quarter, their best kids are wanting off the field because they're tired of getting hit. And when those things happen, you kind of smile and you believe in these kids because they're making those things happen.
Howe has never won 11 games in a season, and you can do that on Friday night. What does it take to beat West Rusk and get that 11th win?
I've said for a while now, we got to control the ball and win the field position battle. Statistics, of course, again show how much better we are when we can win that field position battle. But we're going to, like you said, not allow big plays. We're going to have to make them earn it. They're a team that didn't make the playoffs last year, and then this year they're 10-1, and we have to try to let them relive what they did before. I guess you could say, I have no idea what they were like last year. I didn't see them last year, but you want to try to make them fall back a little bit, and the only way to do that is to take over early. And we can't be spotting people 27 points in the playoffs. I mean, it's not a good thing to happen because, like I said, teams are getting better, but they're 10-1 for a reason. And they play a tough district, very tough district. And anytime you grab somebody in East Texas, they have a great combination of big linemen and some speed in the backfield. So, but again, what we do is a little bit different than what everybody else does also. So it'll be a good game. It really will. And we have to play our game, and we have to make sure, they don't get some big plays and get momentum going. I think high school football is about 60% momentum. And when you believe you can and you're in a game and momentum's going your way, it's easier to win that way. And so you can't allow momentum to get turned on you. And we have to keep the score close at halftime and be able to turn around and dominate the third and fourth quarter, which is that's our game. It's a Hughes Springs made over. You stay close to half and then you dominate the third and fourth quarter. So that's what we look at and make sure we try to make happen. And of course, if you can dominate 4 quarters and be up by 21 points at halftime, it's always a good thing. But that's where we sit. That's our thing. That's what we rely on, and we rely on our kids playing 4 quarters because they have to. And there's no other. They have no other choice. They have to play 4 quarters. And so it's fun to watch. I'm proud of them, and we got to keep going.
This has been the Bulldogs Coaches Show featuring Howe Athletic Director and Head Coach Zach Hudson. The Coaches Show is brought to you by Joe Brown for Grayson County District Attorney. God, Guts, and Game. That's the 3 Gs in 3G brand. 3G Brands handcrafted American-made, in fact Howe-made blankets were rated by Horseback Magazine as one of the top 7 Christmas gifts in America. These blankets are in deer stands and stadium bleachers all over America, and they come right here from Howe, Texas. We're talking about hunting blankets, stadium blankets, and throws. Get that early black and white blanket just in time for the cold games in November. 3gbrand.com. God, Guts, and Game.
Calling all Bulldog fans to come down to the Sonic in Howe for half-price shakes after 8 and open until midnight. Home games only, where you get great food and big smiles. And a little message for all our Howe football players: go Bulldogs, fight, Bulldogs win, win, win. 'Cause it's not just good, it's Sonic good.
Two new businesses, Howe Mercantile and Texas Home Emporium, have joined downtown Howe at 107 and 109 East Haining Street. These 2 antique and gift shops offer vintage items that are rarely available in the Howe area. Their prices will definitely please shoppers. Come enjoy a unique shopping experience at Howe Mercantile and Texas Home Emporium. Go Dogs!
Well, I think everyone in Howe believes now that we will win. That's the chant now in Howe, we will win. And the Bulldogs looking to do that tonight as we are live now in Forney at Citibank Stadium here in Forney, Texas. And tell you what, it's kind of a nice evening. It's a little bit chilly. We're outdoors tonight. We're on the film deck, but it's enclosed. We're not in the wind, so the fans will have a much more difficult time staying warm than we will up here with the big wall blocking the wind. However, a nice turf stadium. Falcons in one end zone and Jackrabbits painted in the other end zone. And Forney Stadium opened here not too long ago. A nice, really nice stadium here. And
it is a nice complex.
I have a feeling that if the Howe Bulldogs are able to win tonight, next week very well could be played in Allen.
You know, that'd be good. That'd be fun. You know, last week we played in an end zone that was black and white. Both of these are black and white. So let's hope it goes good. It goes as good tonight as it did last week.
Well, and the opposing West Rusk Raiders are taking the field. They're actually running through the run-through, and here come the Howe Bulldogs. In all black tonight. The home team, the Howe Bulldogs. Black helmets, black pants, black tops. And there's Mr. Moonman.
Right.
It's a marvelous night for a moon dance.
It is.
The captains are on the field about to get underway. We'll give you the starting lineups here in just a moment after the coin toss, and we may bust through the national anthem and give you the starting lineups during that. I hate to do that, but we may have to. The captains on the field for the Bulldogs: Stratton Carroll, Tyler Grisham, Levi Rosinski, and Joel Minivar. On the other side for West Rusk, the captains Corey Brister, Brayon Thurman, Alex Andrews, and Vaughn Leidke. And apparently we're now ready for the national anthem. And with that, it is football time in Texas. Area championship football time in Texas. Let's go over the starting lineups as the captains are just about to go on the field. The starting offense for the Howe Bulldogs: Mike Helpenstill, Hunter Morrow, Clay Marshall, Tanner Hartsfield, Austin Bearden, and Matt Griffin up front. The wideout, Seth Seabolt, he has a separated shoulder. He'll play some. Stratton Carroll, the slot back. In the backfield, Jaden Matthews, Tyler Grisham, along with quarterback Brandon Wall. Let's go over the starting defense for the Howe Bulldogs. Michael?
All right, we're going to go with Nick Wilson, Joel Minivar, Tristan Matthews, Mike Heppenstall, Zach Blevins, Tyler Grisham, Jacob Taylor, Andrew Griffin, the always spectacular Ty Portwood, Winston Moss, and Seth Seabolt.
We will give you the starting offense and defense for West Rusk after the coin toss. Let's see what's taking place down there. The officials are talking to both parties. Looks like Stratton Carroll is taking a look at it. Looks like Howe may have won the toss. He puts his hand on Stratton Carroll's shoulder pads. We'll see if that is in fact the case. Howe is going to defend the end zone on the, what is that, the north side?
I think that's the north. Well, kind of the northeast maybe.
It looks as if Howe has won the toss, and they have elected to receive. First time in a long time that Howe has won a toss and not deferred. First time in a very long time. Maybe the first time this year that's happened.
I think we've deferred every time.
Well, it's a little different playing a little bit different team here.
Right.
West Rusk has scored an awful lot of points. Matter of fact, 388 on the season. That compares to Howe's 396. So we're pretty much toe for toe offensively. And Coach Hudson electing to take the ball first, trying to strike first blood, get a lead in this football game. and maybe have a little bit different start than what happened a week ago against Edgewood. Of course, everybody knows what happened in the first quarter a week ago, and Coach Hudson and the coaching staff not wanting a repeat of that tonight.
I'm going to say, I don't know if we want to start that way this week.
Setting it up, doing the kicking for West Rusk will be Jose Cerda. And they will tee it up from the 40 as always. Again, we'll try to find out which end zone direction that is. I believe it's north. You know, with an iPhone, you can do just about anything these days.
Right.
But you have to always, what is that? You have to rotate it, balance it, all that kind of stuff.
Calculate it.
We were correct. They are kicking to the north. And Howe will receive the ball first. It's going to be taken and fumbled at the 5-yard line. Masters picks it up a yard deep, comes up the far hash. It's going to be buried at the 6-yard line. Howe's going to start deep in their own territory, moving left to right as Masters had it go through his hands in the end zone, picked it up, ran it out to the 6, and that's where Howe's going to start tonight.
Kevin Jones and Jacob Waller made the stop for Rusk. We're going to go ahead and Lajavius Harper is the strong safety.
This is for West Rusk.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Kevin Jones is the free safety. Middle linebacker Joe Wright. Jacob Waller.
This is going to be Wall on the keeper around the right side, brought down almost immediately. And it's going to be a gain of minimal, maybe half a yard. And they'll bring it out to actually, they gave him the 7 to start the possession. So bring it on out to the 8.
Brendan Thurman, cornerback DJ Hicks, Nick Ballard, Corey Brister, Vaughn Lidkey, Matthew Davidson, Lidkey, Lidkey, Matthew Davidson, and Devontae Medford. Corey Brister made that stop.
Stump Matthews into the game. Handoff Grisham left side, looking for some room, and piles across the 10 to the 12-yard line. And now Howe's going to have a 3rd and 5 situation. And a man down. A left knee for Hunter Morrow, looks like. We don't want to speculate, but Ricky Ake out there very quickly taking a look at Hunter Morrow. And again, that's the all-important pulling guard for the Howe Bulldogs. Morrow does a spectacular job of pulling across. And if something were to happen tomorrow, that'd be a huge loss for the Bulldogs up front. Not a great big guy, but he will limp off here. That's a really bad limp for Morrow. And we'll see who checks in for the Bulldogs at left guard.
Yeah, I think he's had problems with that knee before. I think he had problems when he was a couple of years ago.
Jacob Taylor checks into the game, and now official timeout has been called. It's 3rd and 5 coming up. So far, the Bulldogs have received the kickoff. It went through Masters' hand and into the end zone, about a yard deep, picked it up, went up the far hash, moving left to right up to the 6 or 7 yard line. And here's a 3rd and 5. And this is going to be a handoff right side. Stratton Carroll's got some room and brought down at the 20-yard line, enough for a first down. Good by about 3 yards, and a fresh set of downs for the Bulldogs moving left to right.
Kevin Jones in on the stop for West Rusk.
So the chain crew will be active and move those bright orange sticks set at the 20 to the 30. And Bulldogs quickly up front on first down. Wall under center, man in motion. This will be a handoff. Grisham left side and fighting his way to about the 25-yard line. A fight for the football, but Grisham came up with it and down with it. There's a flag down. Now, I thought it was a beanbag, but it's a flag right where the play stopped, and we'll see what this is.
Matthew Davidson and Corey Brister made the stop.
It's going to be against West Rusk, and of the 15-yard variety, I believe that's a face mask on Tyler Grisham, and that's the call. So instead of 2nd down and 5 from the 25, it'll be 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line. And there will be a handoff left side. Jaden Matthews, good for about 2 yards.
Von Lidkey in on the stop for West Rusk. You know, we go with that West Rusk defensive line. You're 190, 220, 295, 220, 220. Those are some big boys.
Seth Seabolt, separated shoulder and all, checks into the game. 2nd down and 5 coming up. Wall sends Carroll in motion. He'll get the toss right side, looking for a block. Has one up to the 50-yard line, just short of the first down by about a half a yard. 3rd and a half yard coming up.
DJ Hicks and Brennan Thurman in on the stop.
Let me update our scoreboard as it is the first quarter and not the pregame now. You gotta remind me of that.
I know I do. I don't even think about that. I'm sorry.
3rd and half a yard. Handoff. Left side, Tyler Grisham. First down, looking for more. Into Raider territory at the 46-yard line.
Joe Wright, 6 foot, 225-pound linebacker, held him up.
Well, we have some sort of an issue here. We've got a lot of people listening. 1st and 10, left to right. Wall, handoff. First man through. No, he's going to keep it around the right side. For a minute, I thought he was going to be able to break it, but he slung down short of the 40 at the 41-yard line.
Again, Joe Wright, in on the stop. Well, it's hard to stop the big man. That's 6 foot, 225.
So 1st and 5, as we may have lost our feed.
I hope not.
2nd down and 5 rather. And this will be a reverse to Carroll on the left side. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Pushed backwards, 3rd and 5 coming up.
I knew that was going to happen.
So we'll have to check our feed. Man, I tell you what, that's just terrible.
Alex Anderson made the stop, or Andrews made the stop for West Rusk.
3rd and 4 coming up. Man in motion is Carroll. This will be a handoff. Right side, Grisham brought down, maybe a yard loss. 4th and 6 coming up.
Joe Wright in on the stop again.
With that 4th down play, we've got a lot of people trying to log in, and we're apparently having some difficulties. And now we've got some drop frames, so let me load off of here, and we'll try this again. So 4th down. Here comes Carroll on the reverse, and he's not going to get the first down. Gain of 1 at the 40-yard line, and Howe will turn over on downs.
Corey Brister, 295-pound defensive tackle for West Rusk made the stop.
West Rusk will now take over at their own 40-yard line. The ball is straddling the 40.
You know, that's a hard name to say in a hurry.
West Rusk?
Yeah,
yes,
I want to call it Rep. Sometimes I call myself saying West Rust. That ain't anywhere close to it.
Again, a lot of people trying to log on, which may be clogging up some of our stream here. 1st down and 10. Right to left goes West Rusk. Handoff. First man through Ballard. He's got 5. He's got 7. He's got 8. And down just shy of midfield at the 48-yard line.
Ty Portman, Winston Moss, and Joel Minivar in on the stop.
Again, we apologize that we are unable to connect. And
lots of people hitting us over there.
There's a lot of people trying to get online. That may be part of the issue here. 2nd down and 3. Right to left, West Rusk. Starlin in shotgun formation. Ballard to his right. This is going to be a keeper. Starlin right side. He's got some room and a lot of speed. Look out, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, and out of bounds at the 25, at the 15-yard line. They'll spot him at the 16, and Starlin immediately just bursts out with that great speed around the right edge.
Levi Brzezinski run him out of bounds. We've had that conversation. You don't like your safeties making those stops. Yeah, that lots of people.
Yep, we're going to have to completely shut down, I believe, when we go to commercial. as it's 1st and 10, West Rusk, right to left. Starlin, handoff, Ballard, right side. He's got a seam, 10 to the 5, looking for the end zone down at the 1 yard line. So 1st and goal coming up for West Rusk at the 1.
Nick Wilson in on the stop for the Bulldogs.
3 plays and 59 yards already so far for the Raiders. Shotgun for Starlin, quickly, handoff, Ballard, right over the middle, touchdown, West Rusk. And as soon as this kick is made, we are going to reboot and restart action here.
Reboot.
And the Bulldogs may need to reboot as well. And
Jose Serta in on the extra point.
And it is good. 7-0. West Rusk early in the lead. We're going to take a quick timeout. We're going to reboot. We'll be right back. We're going to change our string key to 4. Update. 4. Okay. 4.
Stratton Carroll running the ball.
All right, let's. Why don't you keep us going, Michael, while I try to work on this.
Toss to Tyler
we're recording
Grisham.
on there.
Oh, okay. Toss to Tyler Grisham. Stop made by Jacob Waller. Bring up 2nd and 6. Yeah, 2nd and 6 to go. Okay, on the Howe 32. Wall takes a snap, hands off to, I think it was Jaden Matthews, looked like they're in the middle. Tackle made by, looked like number 44, Joe Wright and Tyree Wilson. Bring up 3rd down and 5. Nope, still reading, showing, scoreboard showing 3rd and 6. Here we go.
All right, here we go.
All right.
Maybe. Brandon Wall, toss, left side. Jaden Matthews, he's got the 35 up to the 40 and a 1st down to the 42-yard line. So signs of life now from the Howe Bulldog offense.
Kevin Jones and Von Leidke made the stop. You know, I don't do offense very well. I try, though. Hey, I keep us somewhat occupied anyway. Looks like I'm not sure who ran that. I think it was Elvington in with the play.
And here is Stratton Carroll on the reverse, coming near side to 45. He's got the 50, cuts it up, has another 1st down at the 45 and 44-yard line. Inside West Rusk territory. So again, Howe doing fairly well moving the sticks. on offense and did a great job last series on the very first series of the game, but then stalled out inside West Rusk territory. But the defense was just shredded on 4 plays.
Yeah, they were. 3:54 on the clock.
That's one thing about this corner. You can't see the clock very well. It's like Leonard. Handoff. Right side Matthews met at the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing. A yard or 2 loss. And they'll spot him outside the 45 to the 46-yard line.
Joe Wright and Corey Brister in on the stop.
So now a 2nd down and 11 coming up for Howe.
Looked like Jaden come up a little slow there. He come out of the game, and I'm not sure who checked in his spot. Looked like Andrew Griffin checked in on his spot.
3:14 on the clock. Man in motion is going to be Carroll. They'll hand it to Jaden Matthews, and he'll gain about 6. Actually, that's Andrew Griffin on the carry. And that'll bring up 3rd and roughly 5 yards for the Bulldogs. Now, this is about where they stalled out a moment ago. That Raider defense tightened up when they got inside their territory. And here we are again, a 3rd and 5. Wall. Man in motion is Carroll. Handoff. Griffin again, left side. Barrels forward for a 1st down at the 33-yard line.
Jacob Waller in on the stop. Jacob Waller, Devontae Medford. Looks like Jaden Matthews is getting a little bit of attention here from Ricky Ake. Looks like he's up, maybe got a little limp. He's going to be all right.
This will be a handoff right side, and is that Griffin again for about 5 yards. Again, we have loads of people on the internet, and that could be causing some of the disturbance.
Alex Andrews made a stop. There's loads of people on the internet because they love us, Monty Walker. Right?
Who's that?
I said they love us, right?
I guess so.
Right. I know.
They can't love us if we're not.
If we're not there.
If we're not there.
Well, don't love us quite so much.
2nd down. 2nd down and 6 coming up.
I don't think it works that way.
Griffin being told where to go by Wall. And this will be a handoff. Griffin. Nope, right side. It's going to be a toss out Carroll. And he's going to be stopped for a big loss, about 5 yards, back to the 35-yard line.
Lajavius Harper in on the stop for West Rusk. You know, it's nice to look out. It's nice to look out and see Christmas lights up. That means we're getting close to Thanksgiving. And, you know, big guys like the turkey.
We have, again.
And, you know, that's good. I like these. I like nights like this.
Stump Matthews checking in on 3rd and 11. All kinds of problems. I hate to keep harping on it. Here we go. 3rd down and long. Wall is going to keep it around the right side, looking for a block. Has one for a moment. It's going to be close to the 1st down, but a couple of yards short. Enough, however, for the Riverboat Gambler to think about this, and you know he's going to look for aces here again.
Devontae Medford and Von Leidke made the stop for West Rusk. And when Stump checks into the game, that's usually what happens. You know, he's going to try to pull aces one more time.
Again, we apologize. We have you have no idea how many people listening. And we are almost maxed out here. Here we go. And that's causing a problem with our feed. Wall telling Griffin where to go. And this is going to be a toss to Tyler Grisham, left side, 30. Cuts it up and looking for the 25, close to the 1st down marker. I'm not sure he got it. It's going to be very close. He's got the 24-yard line, and that's where he needed to go. Stephen Braswell's probably got to look at it. Let's see.
13 seconds left on the clock.
Well, Braswell says 1st down. They're going to pull the sticks.
It's got to be pretty close. We got 13 seconds left in the ball in the 1st quarter.
I'm going to try to give hand signals over here to Mr. Mosier. I can't see the clock very well, so you're going to have to point at me and tell me.
Gotcha. See, we'll learn these hand signals. Oh, they stopped them short.
It's going to be short, and the ball is going to turn over on downs once again. It's short by about 3 inches. So just not a great situation as Howe took the ball basically all the way down the field.
Oh, yeah, down to
we were under attack by our stream when they took the ball, so I was working on things, so I can't tell you exactly how long the drive was. But again, a turnover on downs. Let's recap for you. Howe took the ball first and had it go through Brent Masters' arms into the end zone. He picked it up, brought it out. Howe drove all the way down the field, but turned it over on downs. And West Rusk took it quickly, 4 plays all the way down the field, scored on a 1-yard touchdown by Ballard. And Howe got the ball back. As a timeout's been called, we'll finish our recap here in just a moment on HoweEnterprise.com.
Abby's Restaurant is family owned and run. They have the cure for all your home cooking cravings. Chicken fried steak, loaded baked potato, bacon patty melt, grilled chicken salad, cheese fries, jalapeno stuffed peppers, and more. Don't forget to save room for that cheesecake and cobbler with ice cream. We know you're going to love the food and the service. Abby's Restaurant in downtown Howe. Give them a call, 903-487-8860. Abby's Restaurant. Sweetie Pies in Van Alstyne is expanding their great fried pie menu and including vintage candies and boiling sodas made with real sugar cane. You can also order your Spirit Pops black and white candy popcorn. Want to try a slice of cake? You can do that too. It's the fried pies and cookies that's made Sweetie Pies a North Texas treat. Place an order anytime, 972-821-1508. Sweetie Pies is located facing the railroad tracks in downtown Van Alstyne.
In these days of fast-paced lives and
Sorry, Chris Kavner. We'll get right back to you. The handoff was to Ballard as we start the second quarter. It's actually the end of the first quarter. There was 13 seconds left. So now we'll get to Chris Cavender as we get to the second quarter. We'll be back in just a moment.
in these days of fast-paced lives and fast-talking salespeople, it's nice to know you can still count on your local dish retailer, Cavender Home Theater, with folks right here in your area to tell you the honest truth. Dish simply costs less for the very same channels. For your home or business, Dish and Cavender's has it at a reasonable price with old-fashioned service. Call Cavender Home Theater at 903-892-3499 today and experience an expert who's happy to answer all your questions. Or go to CavenderTV.com. Do it now.
The Howe Athletic Booster Club invites you to become a supporter of the Howe Bulldogs.
And the type of kids we have, they're just hard workers and do anything you ask.
Memberships are $25 and will be available at all home games. All proceeds benefit high school and middle school athletic programs. Please join the Howe Athletic Booster Club in our efforts to support our hometown kids.
When people come here, you know, it's something they can be proud of.
Well, here we go. 2nd down and 5 coming up for West Rusk after the 5-yard run by Ballard to end the first quarter. And Starling in shotgun wants it. He wants to throw right side. He's got his man, and Thurman catches it for a first down just short of the 40 at about the 39-yard line. Again, Brayon Thurman, 20 catches rather, 545 yards on the season. And he can put it in the end zone himself. 9 touchdowns on the year as these West Rusk Raiders. They can move the football in a hurry. 1st and 10 here as the chains are a little bit messed up. It looks like 1st and 9.
Right.
That's a strange setting. They've got to fix those chains over there. Here's a handoff to Ballard, left side for the first time tonight. He's got the 45, and he's got right about a first down. A 10-yard carry by Ballard. Now, he's a truck. He brings a load now.
Joel Minivar and Winston Moss in on the stop. He brings 5'10", 220. 5'10", 220. That's a big running back. Or halfback is what they call him here. You know, those guys they all look big from up here, but, everybody looks equally matched.
1st and 10 as Ballard will send a man in motion. I'm sorry, that's DJ. Oh, my goodness. That is DJ Hicks from the slot position coming across in motion. He gets the hand from Starling, and not much doing there as the Bulldogs sniff it out, and it'll bring up a long situation up to the 48-yard line. And I tell you what, the guy who's running the sticks over there is not very impressive tonight. Second down and 8 coming up.
He's not doing a very good job.
He just leaned the stick up against the other guy, and now we can tell where it's at. Second down and 8 from the 48 in Howe territory. Shotgun formation for Starling. And he will pump, now throw right side. Thurman again, caught first down at the 40. Falls forward to the 38-yard line, and again, West Rusk is moving the sticks.
Nick Wilson and Tanner Hartsfield in on the stop for the Bulldogs.
So hopefully all is well now back in audio land. We haven't had any complaints in a while, so hopefully everything's back to normal.
Well,
we will.
You know, when the Christmas lights are on, that means we're still playing, and that's great. I like playing in November. Let's play in December.
Let's do it. Let's keep playing.
That's right. I like this.
We're in the second quarter now.
10-15 on the clock.
Starlin, handoff Ballard, left side being chased down by Portman. Moss misses the tackle out to the 30. Gain of 10 so far, and now 12 as he goes out of bounds at the 26-yard line.
Zach Blevins run him out of bounds.
Well, they spread it out and run it right at you and have been very successful so far in this contest. Another first down for West Rusk.
Nick Ballard's got a handful of yards on the year, too. I was looking at that earlier.
Yeah, Ballard, 1,836 yards on the season. First and 10, left to right. West Rusk, handoff, Ballard straight up the middle. Minivar had him for a moment, and now lots of Bulldogs gather, and it's going to be no gain to the 25-yard line. So at times the Bulldogs have looked, pretty well on defense, but a lot of times West Rusk looks just really overpowering.
Yeah, they got us on our heels sometimes.
We haven't talked about their offensive line. 215, 290, 260, 295, and 245, and then throw a tight end on there, 225. So those are big kids. Starling throws it out left side, wide open, caught for a first down. That's going to be Kevin Jones, and he'll fall forward to the 10-yard line. And now all of a sudden West Rusk is going to be, it's not first and goal. They'll spot him at the 11.
You got Levi Merzinski and Tyler Grisham in on the stop.
So West Rusk would be able to get a first down inside the 2-yard line. Inside the 2 and the 1. Closer to the 1. Starling and shotgun. And he will hand Ballard right side up the middle and bringing him down from behind the line. Tyler Grisham has both hands on his foot, and that finally brought him down at the 10, gain of about a yard, bringing up second down at 9, and that's DJ Hicks on the carry.
Yeah, he checked in just you were looking down. 8:31 on the clock.
Big stop right here is what the Dogs need. 8:21 on the second quarter clock, 7-0. West Rusk in the lead, looking for more. This is going to be Starling throwing it in the end zone. The fade route incomplete, overthrew his receiver. The ball landed about a yard or two deep out of the end zone. It'll be third down and 9 coming up.
Yeah, that was his receiver wasn't even looking. He was headed for pay dirt, wasn't even paying attention. Looks like Nick Ballard just checked back in, Lonnie.
The Bulldogs come into tonight's game with a playoff record of 12-16-3, looking for that 13th win in school history in the playoffs. Third and 9 right here. Starling is going to run the option, and now the end around coming to the near side, looking for the corner at the 10. Played well. DJ, that's Hicks, is going to be snuffed out at the 8-yard line. Fourth down coming up, and looks like the field goal team's coming on.
Yeah, Ty Portman, Tristan Matthews, Tanner Hartsfield in on the stop. And I'm not real sure, Monty. I was trying to watch what was going on and the clock. The clock didn't start until about 5 seconds into that play. I don't know why.
They ran that play was exactly the crackback play that they used to run back in the 80s when Jim Pryor ran it with Stephen Ogle.
Yeah.
And would fake the pitch to Ogle and flip it to Mark Wheeler. That's exactly what that play was. And this will be a 25-yard field goal. The kick is up. It's a low kick, line drive kick, and it's good. Just a line drive.
That looked like a dead duck going through that goal post.
10-0, West Rusk in the lead. We'll be back in just a moment.
The Howe Enterprise has served the hometown news since 1963. Since then, the Bulldogs have won 8 district, 8 by-district, 4 area championships, and 1 regional title. We've covered 14 different head coaches during that time. The Howe Enterprise has been with the Bulldogs for 52 years. We were there when the Pride of Howe won 3 band state championships. Look for each week's publication every Monday at howenterprise.com. When it comes to Howe, Bill French Properties is 100% invested to the economic and residential growth for Howe. They also provide commercial and farm and ranch services. Bill French Properties provides buyer representation free of charge and provides every service from mortgages to credit repair to skilled craftsmen and inspections. Visit BillFrenchProperties.com or give him a call at 903-893-BILL. Bill French Properties, realtors that you can trust. Servicing Grayson and North Collin County.
Welcome back as it's 10-0 now with West Rusk in the lead. The Bulldogs, who came back from 27-0 a week ago.
West Rusk called timeout.
How do you call a timeout on the kickoff?
I don't know. He called timeout.
Oh, they had about to run out of time.
On the kickoff clock. Wow.
Well, I tell you what.
That's not very good game, man. Time management.
You know, and the officials, well.
Like I say, I was watching the clock a minute ago. They run 5 seconds before they even started the clock.
Well,
I'm not real sure what's going on. We need to send Stevens
Not
down.
sure I've seen that one.
Where's Roger then when we need him?
Here's Serta on the kick. A high kick going to be taken at the 13-yard line by Tyler Grisham, coming near side. Up the near hash and down, crosses the 30 to the 33-yard line. And that's where the Bulldogs will take over, moving right to left here at 40 Citibank Stadium in their all-black home uniforms against the West Rusk Raiders, which are kind of look like the Tennessee Titans with the the dark blue helmet, the dark blue pants, the white jersey, and the light blue trim on the pants. They're that dark blue, light blue combination. So 1st and 10 for Howe, moving right to left, and now the officials are going to want to talk about something. They're coming over to Coach Hudson and explain to him something. Coach Hudson, whatever it was, just said, okay, let's go. Landry Elvington into the game for the offense. Again, Jacob Taylor playing left guard with Hunter Morrow out, injured earlier in the game. Wall sends Stratton Carroll in motion. Wall's going to keep it over left tackle. He's got a seam for a little bit. Bounces out of a tackle. Look out to the 40, to the 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25. Out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Brandon Wall does it again. He runs basically a quarterback sneak, bangs out of one tackle, and races all the way down to the 20.
Yeah, that's a great downfield block by Mike Heppenstall. Helped him get down that sideline. Good job, guys. That's the Bulldogs we want to see.
Well, you know, the Bulldogs are going to have to put it in the end zone. We talked about that last week. You know, just do what you do. Maintain your composure and stick the ball in the end zone. And Wall sends Carroll in motion. Carroll gets the hand running far side. Stripped up, falls down at the 25-yard line, a loss of 4. Carroll just doesn't seem to have that burst. And of course, the torn ACL last year against Whitewright on Halloween night has been really slowly recovering from that and doesn't have that just quick burst as, say, Cooper Akins had when he was on early in the season. And here comes Brent Masters into the game, and Carroll will check out. 2nd down and 14 coming up. Landry Elvington bringing the play in, and he'll split out or come to the near side as the flanker. Wall under center. Sends Masters in motion. He gets the carry. Coming near side. Looking for a Matthews block. Looking for another block. And gets one to the 15-yard line, a gain of 5, coming all the way to the near side. Now Masters has that burst, and he can really get across the field in a hurry. They'll spot it at the 14-yard line. So that'll bring up a manageable third down.
Yeah, there's definitely a speed difference in Masters and Stratton when he goes in motion. You know, and I'm not taking anything away from Stratton.
Absolutely.
Just, you know, Brent Masters has just got quick feet, and he's low to the ground, and he never stops churning.
Fourth play of the drive. This will be a handoff. Matthews, left side. Good for maybe 2 yards to the 12, in between the 12 and the 13-yard line.
Joe Wright, Matthew Davidson in on the stop. What I like to see is you see Brendan Ross down here on the 10-yard line throwing a block in case they get on his side.
Actually under 6 minutes now, 5:54. And it looks like a timeout's been called, and we'll take one too. Back in a moment with more Howe Bulldogs football.
I'm attorney Micah Belden, and I will always be a Bulldog. I'm a proud graduate of Howe High School. The great leadership from our teachers and coaches helped me be able to become one of the few certified criminal law specialists in Texas. While I love the black and white, in trials, everything is not always that way. If you've been investigated, arrested, or charged with a crime in North Texas, you need to call me now at 903-744-4252 for a free consultation. I'm board certified by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization, Principal Office, Sherman, Texas.
10-0 as we come back. West Rusk in the lead. And the Bulldogs knocking on the door here, but challenging 4th and 2 coming up. And we all know the Riverboat Gambler will go for it here at the 13-yard line. And it's just it's one of those things. Howe has converted on 4th downs all year long and have just come up empty tonight in both attempts, needing that big play, have just not been able to capitalize on it. And if the Bulldogs can capitalize here, they're going to be in a 1st and goal situation. Needing to get to the 10-yard line for the first down. Ball at the 13. Here come the Dogs. Waiting on the officials to blow the whistle, and we're just about ready. Wall and the offense standing at the line of scrimmage, waiting on the whistle. And the official gets himself in place. They pull the chains tight.
No chain crew
checking the crew over there. And now the official says he's ready. And here we go. 4th and 3. Wall under center. And he's going to hand off. He's going to keep it around the right side. Fighting forward to the 10. He's got the first down. If not, it's going to be very close, but I believe he got it. If he was 3 inches short earlier, he's got to be 3 inches further ahead this time. And they are going to move the sticks. They will say first down. So the Bulldogs just inside the 10-yard line. Brandon Wall faked the dive to Matthews, kept it around the right side, followed him in the hole, picked up the first down. Here we go. Very tight I formation. This is going to be a handoff left side. Brent Masters coming near side to the 5 and slung down there just before he could get to the 5. They'll spot him at the 6-yard line. It's not a crucial do-or-die touchdown, but the Bulldogs really desperately need to punch it in right here. It'll do wonders for your confidence.
Yeah, I think you've got to try to get it in. For sure, you've got to get that tackle in.
This would be huge if they could punch it in. 2nd down and goal from the 6 coming up. Matthews in the backfield, along with Tyler Grisham right behind him. This will be Grisham, left side, to the 3, to the 2. He's in! It is touchdown time in Texas!
You know, Tyler Grisham got in behind, looked like Matt Griffin, and Matt Griffin took him all the way to the end zone.
Well, they loaded over there with Stump Matthews and followed that tandem right over there in the end zone.
It looked like Mason Murray's checked into the game for the Bulldogs.
Running the swinging gate here as Grisham scores from 6 yards out. Right now it's 10-6, awaiting this PAT. And the kick from Honecker is up, and it is good. Howe on the board, trailing 10-7 in the second quarter. 4:47 left to go before the half. Back in a moment.
In this very football season, we will experience extreme heat followed by the changing of the leaves and finally feel the cold chill of the November rain. Life changes, and sometimes it changes too fast. When you lose a loved one, you need a place of comfort and trust. Scoggins Funeral Home and Crematory of Van Alstyne will provide you with that care. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins invite you to talk to their caring staff. They take pride in their responsibility to lighten your burden as you take the first steps towards healing.
Have you heard about the new coffee shop in downtown Van Alstyne? Curie's Coffee Company in historic downtown Van Alstyne, next to the post office, is the new upscale coffee shop serving Van Alstyne, Howe, Anna, and surrounding areas. Curie's Coffee Company offers a wide variety of organic coffee and non-coffee beverages and baked goods. Come visit Curie's Coffee Company in downtown Van Alstyne, next to the post office, and mention this ad and get 50% off your first beverage. Open Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 7 a.m. on Saturdays. Curie's Coffee Company is Texas quality.
God.
Well, a little trickery there as Honecker lined up for the onside kick and tried to, instead of kicking it forward, he lined up as if he were going to kick it straight like he's been doing for the past several weeks, and then flipped it over here to the near side. However, it didn't fool West Rusk, and they were able to jump on it. So now they'll have the ball just shy of midfield at the 48, so a gamble right there by Zach Hudson. And the Raiders are going to have a short field with only 4:44 left to go before the half. And here's Starlin throwing it out. Look out, DJ. He's got a catch and a first down, and that is DJ Hicks. I never can remember his last name. Hicks. Out of bounds, stops the clock at the 40-yard line, and they'll move the sticks.
Yeah, you would think.
You know, I'm so used to calling DJ Jones for all those times in Denison.
But you would think with the Hick that's sitting beside you.
There we go.
Hicks would be the easy name to remember.
You just did it.
There you go.
You just did it.
There you go.
I got it.
Hey, you don't play basketball either, do you?
Yes, I do.
Well, you missed just a minute.
And here is a handoff. Ballard right up the middle to the right side. Tanner Hartsfield brings him down.
Tanner Hartsfield and Ty Portman.
Gain of about 3. As I barely heard you there.
Oh, can you hear me now?
I can now.
There we go.
Second down and 7.
I'm sorry.
And the Dogs stump Matthews and Hartsfield, Minivar, Helpenstell, Portman all looking to the sideline, waiting for the call from Coach Hudson. They get it, and here we go. Second down and 6, 4:01 on the clock. Starlin hands off Ballard, left side being chased down. Going to be shy of the first down by about a yard or two at the 32-yard line. But still a very manageable 3rd and short. They'll actually give him a yard. A great spot. Actually, I'll tell you what, the chain guy over there, the spot guy, is just terrible. I hate to say it. I hope his mother's not listening, but that guy's terrible.
We need to send our great spot man over there. He says he can do it.
So 3rd down and 2. And in the gun is Starlin. Wants it, calls for it. Barking, gets it, handoff Ballard, right side, first down. He's got the 25, look out, 20. To the 15, to the 10, breaks the tackle to the 5. Can't break the last tackle of Nick Wilson, but he's down inside the 5 at the 4-yard line. So again, West Rusk just churning out the yards on the ground and in the air. The Bulldogs not able to get a stop so far.
Yeah, Winston Moss got up a little slow, which you don't want. We'll keep an eye on him, see what's going on with that.
Clock rolling right at the 3-minute mark. 1st and goal. Starlin, shotgun, and he's going to hand off Ballard straight up the middle. Knocked down, did he fall in? Did his knee get in? No indication. They'll say he's down at the 1. He dove forward. Most of his body landed in the end zone, but his knee hit at the 1.
Mike Heppenstall and Tristan Matthews in on the stop.
So here we go with a 2nd down and goal from the 1.
Not used to calling him Tristan. We call him Stump.
Stump Matthews, 10-7. The Raiders in the lead. Split out wide to the right side is Thurman, Ford, and Hicks on the left side. And shotgun Ballard straight up the middle, falls forward, and there's a touchdown. He's in the end zone. So the short.
Got a flag.
We got a flag on the play. As Stephen Braswell points out.
A little extracurricular activity in the end zone.
Personal foul against West Rusk, is that right?
Right.
So Coach Hudson talking about the situation here. And it is a touchdown. The touchdown will count, so it'll be assessed on the kickoff. So give Ballard a 1-yard touchdown, his second of the night.
It looked like we had a little extracurricular activity with our safety and their fullback.
And service kick is going to be true. And West Ridge extends their lead 17-7 with 2:06 left to go here before the half. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be back in just a moment as West Rusk leads 17-7.
God, Guts, and Game. That's the 3 Gs in 3G brand. 3G Brand's handcrafted American-made, in fact, Howe-made blankets were rated by Horseback Magazine as one of the top 7 Christmas gifts in America. These blankets are in deer stands and stadium bleachers all over America, and they come right here from Howe, Texas. We're talking about hunting blankets, stadium blankets, and throws. Get that early black and white blanket just in time for the cold games in November. 3gbrand.com. God, Guts, and Game.
Calling all Bulldog fans to come down to the Sonic and Howe for half-price shakes after 8 and open until midnight. Home games only, where you get great food and big smiles. And a little message for all our Howe football players. Go, Bulldogs fight, Bulldogs win, win, win. Because it's not just good, it's Sonic good.
Grisham will return the kick up to the 33-yard line. It was a short kick, and quickly down was Grisham.
Levante Harper, LeJavis Harper in on the stop.
So Howe's kind of in the same situation as a week ago in this particular point in the clock, needing to score right here before the half. Really desperately, not desperately, but really, it would do wonders for the Bulldogs. Man in motion, handoff coming near side. Carroll looking for the 30. And it's got the 35, a gain of a couple. And they'll spot him at the 36-yard line, gain of 2. Got out of bounds, so let's stop the clock at 1:52.
Devontae Medford made the stop. You don't want to go in they shouldn't go in with their heads down. They're playing a good ball game.
Well,
at halftime, they just go in, regroup, do what we do, right?
Because of the coin toss, West Rusk will get the ball first starting the second half. That's key. It's very big. 2nd down and 8 coming up for Howe. Carroll in motion. Wall wanting to throw the football, setting it up, throwing it up, and thank goodness that ball fell incomplete. He threw it up. His arm may have been hit, and it fell right about the line of scrimmage after a long toss up in the air. It falls incomplete. 3rd down and 8 coming up. And Coach Hudson talked about last week not trying to get out of their game, doing what they do. That time the Bulldogs trying to throw the football, catch West Rusk napping a little bit, but they brought all kinds of pressure. Wall was in trouble immediately. 3rd down and long. This is going to be Carroll on the reverse far side, met and dropped. And this is going to be punt situation for Howe. Not what you wanted with the football back and about almost 2 minutes left on the clock. And all of a sudden, West Rusk is going to get the football back here. And they score quickly, or they can. And then they're going to get the football back to start the second half.
Right.
This is not a good proposition for the Howe Bulldog fans right here. 4th down and 9. As they're going to let as much time roll off this clock. I wouldn't even be surprised if a timeout's called with 1 second left here. It wouldn't shock me. And they're going to punt it away. Wilson, a good punt. Long spiraling kick, going to bounce and send DJ Hicks all the way back to the 22-yard line. Great coverage there, as the Raiders are going to have a long way to go from their own 26 or 27-yard line. You know, you did it for me with the Hick thing.
There you go.
I got it now.
See, Cooper Akins made the stop for the Bulldogs. You know, they punted. It's pretty good punts, pretty good spot.
That was a great punt.
I mean, you got 55 seconds, but you got them pinned back here at the 28.
Well, you've got to have a stop right here. If you want to win this football game, you have to stop them right here. This is it. I mean, I shouldn't say this is it, because there's a whole half to go. But it's very crucial right now.
Right. If you stop them here, you go in with momentum and you feel a little bit better about yourself.
First down and 10, wanting to throw the football out, and that's going to be caught and close to a first down. Getting out of bounds. Did he get out of bounds? He was trying to get out of bounds.
Yeah, they called him out.
And I think that was Kevin Jones on the far side.
Zach Blevins run him out of bounds.
He'll be 2 yards short of the first down, but he does stop the clock at 49 seconds.
You know, they have nothing to be. There's no reason they should be down on themselves. It's just, you know, this is a good ball game. It's two good teams going toe-to-toe.
Yeah, both teams 10-1, and only a 10-point game here.
Right.
Need to keep it that way. West Rusk moving left to right. And this is going to be Starlin wanting to throw the football. And he's going to be sacked in the backfield. Guess who?
Ty Portman.
Portman brings him down, a loss of about 7, back to the 28-yard line.
You know, those are the top stops that you need right there.
If you're going to stop an offense from throwing the football, you got to bring pressure, and Portman is just magnificent at that. Third down and 9 as the clock rolls at 20 seconds now. West Rusk not in any hurry, looking over to the sidelines. They're just going to kind of feel this one out. Starlin wants to throw it out left side. It's going to be caught, and close to a first down will be his receiver, Kevin Jones.
3 seconds left on the clock.
And we'll see, they're going to move the sticks, so that'll chew up the rest of the time, because he did not get out of bounds unless the timeout's been called. And that's the end of the half. So here Howe Bulldogs are going to need to come back again. 10-point deficit here at the half. 17-7. West Rusk in the lead. We'll be back to wrap up this first half and bring you the second half in just a moment.
Two new businesses, Howe Mercantile and Texas Home Emporium, have joined downtown Howe at 107 and 109 East Haney Street. These two antique and gift shops offer vintage items that are rarely available in the Howe area. Their prices will definitely please shoppers. Come enjoy a unique shopping experience at Howe Mercantile and Texas Home Emporium. Go Dogs!
Abby's Restaurant is family owned and run. They have the cure for all your home cooking cravings. Chicken fried steak, loaded baked potato, bacon patty melt, grilled chicken salad, cheese fries, jalapeno stuffed peppers, and more. Don't forget to save room for that cheesecake and cobbler with ice cream. We know you're going to love the food and the service. Abby's Restaurant in downtown Howe. Give them a call, 903-487-8860. Abby's Restaurant.
Sweetie Pies in Van Alstyne is expanding their great fried pie menu and including vintage candies and boiling sodas made with real sugar cane. You can also order your Spirit Pops black and white candy popcorn. Want to try a slice of cake? You can do that too. It's the fried pies and cookies that's made Sweetie Pies a North Texas treat. Place an order anytime, 972-821-1508. Sweetie Pies is located facing the railroad tracks in downtown Van Alstyne.
Well, Michael, is it insurmountable?
No. You talking about the difference? No.
The game?
No. I think we're a long way from over.
This the only thing that frightens me about here on out, because I know Howe's driven the football. The only thing that is different tonight than has been in every other week is that they didn't get that big fourth down to convert. Right. And that's what they do all year long, is convert on fourth downs. In the first quarter, they weren't able to convert on 2 of those, and that's really basically the difference in the game right now, because they have really done, they've driven at will just like they always do, but the 2 fourth downs were huge in the first quarter, and that's the difference. And not only that, they have not been able to get a stop on the spread. When Ballard runs straight up the middle, have not been able to get a stop on that. Have done fairly well and contained, but tell you what.
I don't think that they're down or out by any means. They got to come together a little more. We're doing better with this spread offense than we did with Pottsboro.
Well,
we're staying closer, containing, we're making the stops. I think we're going to be all right. We're just going to have to regroup and come back and do what we do.
We have a score from Wascom and Gunner. No score at the looks like the beginning of the second quarter. No score there. Leonard is trailing Paul Pewitt 14-8. Lone Oak and ARP are tied. So really the game we're watching is Leonard and Paul Pewitt. That would be the next matchup. Whoever wins that game will face the winner of this one. We'll kind of tone that down a little bit. Why don't we let you listen to the West Rusk Marching Band? We'll come right back with more here in just a moment after they get done performing.
The directors for the Raider Band are Grace and Stephanie Hackman. The student of the week is Faith Williams. And the section of the week is the trombone section. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for the Raider Band.
We are just about ready to have the Howe Bulldogs marching band give you their performance, and we will let you listen to that. The Howe Bulldogs started off tonight with the football, and to kind of symbolize the first half, Brent Masters had it go through his hands on the kick return all the way into the end zone. He picked it up at the 1 yard line and was knocked down at the 6 yard line. Bulldogs eventually turned the ball over on downs, gave it back to West Rusk, who went down quickly and scored, made it 7-0. Howe got it back, drove all the way down the field, turned it over on downs again. Gave it back to West Rusk, who drove it all the way down. We're finally stopped, a nice stop by Howe, but they were able to kick a field goal to make it 10-0. And then Howe finally got on the board in the second quarter with a pretty long drive all the way down to the 6 yard line where Tyler Grisham took it in from the 6. And that cut the lead to 10-7 with 4:47 on the second quarter clock. Gave it back to West Rusk, and they immediately answered back with a 1 yard touchdown by Ballard. Howe got it back with 1:58 left, trying to score to narrow the gap a little bit, but had to punt. Wilson got a great punt all the way back to the 27 yard line, and that's where West Rusk had the ball and finally just ran out of time. And now we're just about ready for Howe's band. Are we ready? Jessica Doty, are you ready? I think she's ready. Here we go.
Join your feet for a station.
Sweetie Pies in Van Alstyne is expanding their great fried pie menu and including vintage candies and boiling sodas made with real sugar cane. You can also order your Spirit Pops black and white candy popcorn. Want to try a slice of cake? You can do that too. It's the fried pies and cookies that's made Sweetie Pies a North Texas treat. Place an order anytime. 972-821-1508. Sweetie Pies is located facing the railroad tracks in downtown Van Alstyne.
What is Cavender Home Theater? Do we only do those big fancy media rooms? Heck no. We started in 1978 installing TV antennas. Guess what? We still do and get over 40 Dallas channels that way for our customers. Along the way, we had requests to install speakers, mount TVs, or install dish, so now we do it all. From hooking up a TV with a soundbar to whole house audio with all the bells and whistles. Visit CavenderHT.com to see all we have to offer or call 903-892-3499.
The Howe Athletic Booster Club invites you to become a supporter of the Howe Bulldogs.
And the type of kids we have, they're just hard workers and do anything you ask. And
Memberships are $25 and will be available at all home games. All proceeds benefit high school and middle school athletic programs. Please join the Howe Athletic Booster Club in our efforts to support our hometown kids.
when people come here, you know, it's something they can be proud of.
When it comes to Howe, Bill French Properties is 100% invested to the economic and residential growth for Howe. They also provide commercial and farm and ranch services. Bill French Properties provides buyer representation free of charge and provides every service from mortgages to credit repair to skilled craftsmen and inspections. Visit BillFrenchProperties.com or give him a call at 903-893-BILL. Bill French Properties, realtors that you can trust. Servicing Grayson and North Collin County.
Welcome back to Forney Citibank Stadium. Monty Walker along with Michael Mosier, and we have kind of recapped the first half, but you know what scares me the most as how trailing by 10 is West Rusk is going to get the ball first to start here in the third quarter, and you could be in trouble in a hurry if you don't make a stop right here on this first drive.
Right. Wow, that was very, I'm sorry. Yeah, that if you don't make that stop, if they, they'll eat you alive. But you know what, we can do it. These boys are rough, tough, as Coach Simmons would say.
Now the coaches have come back up here to the actually there's a coach's office right here next to us. We're on this film deck. It's an enclosed film deck. It's kind of like I don't know if anyone is familiar with Ron Poe Stadium. It's similar to that. We're on this film deck, and the coaches coming back through, and the West Rusk coaches are on the other side.
Right.
But for some reason, they're coming in talking to the Howe coaches right now. I kind of want to pull my headphones off and see what they're talking about.
They're actually looking for a charger for their camera. And that's not a good thing.
Well, you know what? Hey, I would make a deal for a camera charger.
Right. We can do that.
There's some kind of creative deals that can be made for that.
Right. They come over here and asked me and Steven a minute ago, and
I'll give you.
I'm not making that. That's not my call.
I'll give you a camera charger for 14 points.
There you go. That's a good. That's a
camera charger for 14 points. I think that's the deal.
Right. Yeah. That would be
the West Rusk coaches walk by and kind of smile. We've got about 6 minutes left before we go back live. The teams are on the field warming up in their own end zones and Howe doing their stretching. Of course, an injury tonight. We'll have to check and see how Hunter Morrow, he's not going to be back. I see him right now at the 23-yard line limping. Left knee, and that's not real good. It's not great news. the cheerleaders are on the field. You might hear the music. That's what is going on right now as the cheerleaders are doing their dance. Take a quick timeout, and we'll be back here in just a moment. We'll have Howe Bulldog football.
I'm attorney Micah Belden, and I will always be a Bulldog. I'm a proud graduate of Howe High School. The great leadership from our teachers and coaches helped me be able to become one of the few certified criminal law specialists in Texas. While I love the black and white, in trials, everything is not always that way. If you've been investigated, arrested, or charged with a crime in North Texas, you need to call me now at 903-744-4252 for a free consultation. I'm board certified by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization, Principal Office, Sherman, Texas.
In this very football season, we will experience extreme heat followed by the changing of the leaves and finally feel the cold chill of the November rain. Life changes, and sometimes it changes too fast. When you lose a loved one, you need a place of comfort and trust. Scoggins Funeral Home and Crematory of Van Alstyne will provide you with that care. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins invite you to talk to their caring staff. They take pride in their responsibility to lighten your burden as you take the first steps towards healing.
Have you heard about the new coffee shop in downtown Van Alstyne? Curie's Coffee Company in historic downtown Van Alstyne next to the post office is the new upscale coffee shop serving Van Alstyne, Howe, Anna, and surrounding areas. Curie's Coffee Company offers a wide variety of organic coffee and non-coffee beverages and baked goods. Come visit Curie's Coffee Company in downtown Van Alstyne next to the post office and mention this ad and get 50% off your first beverage. Open Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 7 a.m. on Saturdays. Curie's Coffee Company is Texas quality.
God, Guts, and Game. That's the 3Gs in 3G brand. 3G Brand's handcrafted American-made, in fact Howe-made blankets were rated by Horseback Magazine as one of the top 7 Christmas gifts in America. These blankets are in deer stands and stadium bleachers all over America, and they come right here from Howe, Texas. We're talking about hunting blankets, stadium blankets, and throws. Get that early black and white blanket just in time for the cold games in November. 3gbrand.com. God, Guts, and Game.
Welcome back to Forney Citibank Stadium. As it looks like West Rusk is preparing to go through their run-through. They don't have a tunnel. You know, when you're a Raider, they're just going to walk. They're just going to walk through their tunnel, and now they start jogging with their hands in the air. Fellas, you got another half to play.
That's right.
17-7, leading the Bulldogs here in Forney. And the West Rusk Raiders celebrating as if they have already won the game here at the half.
You know, we've seen tunnel after tunnel after tunnel. They come through and run through.
Here come the Bulldogs. And they just stroll out. Business as usual. All black. Black pants, black jerseys, black helmets. And Andrew Griffin on the field as they're getting ready for the kickoff team here. As remember, strangely enough, Zach Hudson chose to receive instead of defer in the on the opening kickoff, which goes against everything he's done all year.
And everything.
And not saying that changed the game, because last week when you kick an onside kick out of bounds, that gave Edgewood the ball in short field position to start the game. So, you know, here we are. The only difference to that is you don't get the ball to start the second half. And now Honaker is going to have to boot this one away, and West Rusk is going to have the ball first, moving right to left here. Everybody bunched together and now breaks out as we are ready for the third quarter action.
Hey, Monty, change it to third quarter.
Thank you.
See, I told you, I don't always remember.
And here's the onside kick, left side, brought down immediately. Great job by the West Rusk up front lineman, and that was Matthew Davidson, the sophomore. Fielded it on a hop almost immediately. And now West Rusk is going to have the ball not only in great field position, but in Howe's field position at the 49 to start here the second half.
Yeah,
and a huge gamble there. But,
yeah.
You know,
Bryce can kick it deep. I would have kicked it deep, and
man, those chain guys are having a really hard time. They were setting up going the other way there. Now they're going to have to go set it up on the far side.
Well, maybe where's Steven? I told Steven to go take over for him.
Okay, here we go. 49-yard line. West Rusk, high snap, bringing it down is Ballard, and he's going to have at least 8 or 9 yards on the first down run up to the 41-yard line. Zach Hudson is just upset. He raises his hands in the arm and pumps his fist a little bit and says, come on.
Looked like Nick Wilson and Seth Seabolt in on the stop.
Second down and short is coming up as the Raiders can really make this a quick game if they're going to hand off to Ballard in this second half. They could do that. And this is going to be Starlin in the gun. He's going to hand to Ballard, left tackle, escapes one tackle, moves the pile forward, and has a first down to the 35-yard line. So Ballard is just a bowling ball. He looks like, if you're familiar with the NFL, in comparative to the other kids, he looks like Jerome Bettis.
Mike Heppenstall and Joel Minivar made the stop. And I'm looking, Monty, looks like Winston Moss is standing here on the sideline. Seth Seabolt's in for him.
Seabolt already with a separated shoulder.
Not sure what's going on. Maybe Steven has some information.
Starlin gets the snap, hands off once again to the big bowling ball Ballard, and he'll be inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. So moving the sticks, another 6-7-yard gain there. And Ballard has run the football so far on every down here to start the second half.
Ty Portman, Jacob Taylor in on the stop.
2nd and 4 coming up. Just underway in the second half, 10:21 on the clock. West Rusk playing a little Bulldog football here. Just running the football, taking time off the clock. Spreading it out. And an up man. Here's Ballard again, right side. This time he's met at the line of scrimmage, breaks through a couple of tackles on his way to a first down run inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. Winston Moss is out for the rest of the game. That's terrible news.
Yes, it is.
Terrible news.
Looks like, that's one of that's one of them losses you don't want.
It's one of those where you're playing a larger school. Found out today some bad news in Bulldog land, and Howe will move up next year in classification. We'll go up to Division I, and that's just that'll pile on a little bit back up there with Van Alstyne and those guys. Shotgun. This will be a toss left side, and that's DJ Hicks looking for the corner. He's got some speed and out of bounds at the 17-yard line.
Ty Portman run him out of bounds.
And there's some jawing going on over there as one defender, actually it was Jones, who tried to come to the rescue of DJ Hicks as Portman pushed him out of bounds. Jones thought it was a little bit late, so Jones ran over there, got in the face of Portman, but it was separated quickly. No flags on the play. Second down and short coming up. 6, as a matter of fact. Starlin wants to throw the football in the end zone. It's almost intercepted, but it's not. It's caught for a touchdown.
Wow, what a pass. That kid, he rocketed that ball in there.
Thurman caught the touchdown. I thought for a moment Wilson was going to pick it off.
Yeah, Steven said it looked like it went right through his hands.
He had a beat on it, and I thought the ball was intercepted, but it went right through his hands. Thurman caught it. Touchdown West Rusk, and here's the extra point, and it's good. All of a sudden, this is getting a little bit out of hand as the West Rusk Raiders extend their lead 24-7. Back in a moment.
Calling all Bulldog fans to come down to the Sonic and Howe for half-price shakes after 8 and open until midnight. Home games only, where you get great food and big smiles. And a little message for all our Howe football players. Go, Bulldogs fight, Bulldogs win, win, win. Because it's not just good, it's Sonic good.
Two new businesses, Howe Mercantile and Texas Home Emporium, have joined downtown Howe at 107 and 109 East Hanning Street. These two antique and gift shops offer vintage items that are rarely available in the Howe area. Their prices will definitely please shoppers. Come enjoy a unique shopping experience at Howe Mercantile and Texas Home Emporium. Go Dogs!
Carroll on the return up to about the 26-yard line. The officials very quick tonight, not even giving a minute in between touchdown or extra point and the kickoff. So Howe will set up shop at their own 26. And 9:20 on the clock here in the third quarter. Howe's got some work to do, down 24-7. This is going to be the keeper, Wall on the keeper, and gain of 1. And you say there's a flag.
Flag on the far side. Tackle made by Corey Brister.
Apparently, this one's going to be against West Rusk. They're going to move the ball up 5 yards and spot it at the 32. So 1st and 5. So wipe out that first down play. And Howe will have the ball at the 32-yard line. Handoff, left side, Grisham got the 35. And surges forward to about the 36-yard line, a yard short of the first down.
Joe Wright and Corey Brister in on the stop.
So a situation coming right here, it's second down and short. You have a chance to, kind of do something different because you're going to have 2 plays after this to pick up the first down.
Right.
So you could do something a little bit out of your box right here to try to catch them napping. And this is going to be a toss, right side. Grisham trying to find a block from Matthews. And it's going to be met by 2 or 3 Raiders, but surges forward somehow, fights out of those tackles. Didn't get the block he was looking for, but picks up the first down at the 39-yard line.
Jacob Waller and DJ Hicks in on the stop for the Raiders.
So 1st and 10 coming up. Moving left to right is Howe. 8:20 on the third quarter clock, trailing West Rusk 24-7. Marshall breaks the huddle, comes to the line of scrimmage. Brennan Ross split out. Carroll in motion. This is going to be the keeper by Wall. And he's got 11, 12, 13 yards, 14 yards, 15 yards to the 46-yard line in Raider territory.
Joe Wright made the stop for the Raiders. Our radio counterpart over here, he talked at halftime. He came over here and talked to us and said that's what they had to watch was a quarterback sneak.
Well, they've ran that successfully a couple of times. Here's Brent Masters. He's got some speed to the 40. Look out to the 35. Cut it inside to the 30, 25, and down at the 23-yard line. Signs of life for the Bulldog offense as Brent Masters always seems to just give a little bit of life into that offense when he comes in. Very quick around the corner. He is coming off the field limping just a little bit, but he looks like he's all right. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs, moving left to right at the 23-yard line of West Rusk. Wall's going to hand off near side. Cooper Akins, he's got some speed. Look out to the corner. 20, 15, and out of bounds at the 12-yard line. We talked at half, you and I, about Cooper Akins and his speed. He seems to be having a little bit more burst than Stratton Carroll these days. And we were wondering, why did we not see Akins more? And right there, a 9-yard gain, his first carry in several weeks. And I tell you what, that speed is what you got to have against a team like this with so much defensive speed. And this is going to be Tyler Grisham carrying it on the inside to the 10-yard line, a first down, maybe to the 9. It'll be 1st and goal from the 9.
Joe Wright made the stop for West Rusk. And Vaughn Lodke.
I like it.
Yeah. They're on a roll. They're moving slow, steady. It's our game.
Wall under center. Handoff Tyler Grisham left side up the middle for a yard. To the 8-yard line.
We're playing our game now. We're driving the ball slow, steady, down the field.
And here comes Masters again. He checks in for Cooper Akins. Seth Seabolt with his separated shoulder checks into the game.
Tyrese Wilson made the stop for West Rusk.
Seabolt flanks out to the left. Wall sends Masters in motion, gives to him. Looking for a block, and this time a great play out on the edge. Just a masterful play by the defensive end out there, and that was Tyree Wilson. Played it perfectly, fought off his block, made a perfect tackle, and a big loss there all the way back to the 15-yard line. So now Howe facing a 3rd and goal from the 15. Went to the well with Masters once again, but a great play by the Raiders to force the Bulldogs back. Matthews in the backfield, 2 slots. This is going to be Akins coming near side. That's Masters again, looking for a block from Matthews. Gets it to the 10, to the 5, stumbling, out of bounds at the 1-yard line. I thought Masters had it. He stumbled forward, did everything he could, but went out of bounds inside the 1.
He almost, if he hadn't tripped up right there, he'd have been in.
He was falling and falling forward, trying to stay in bounds and get to the pylon. Couldn't do it. Landry Elvington brings the play in. The ball's inside the 1. 5:50 on the clock. Down 24-7. Wall, handoff, right side, Matthews. He's in. It's touchdown time in Texas. Can they do it again? Can they do it again? 24-13 awaiting the PAT. So Matthews will punch it in for the 11th time this year. And Honaker will try to make this a 24-14 game. Wilson to hold. It's on the tee. The kick is up. Looks good. And it is. 24-10. Howe fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting. They never stop.
Abby's Restaurant is family owned and run. They have the cure for all your home cooking cravings. Chicken fried steak, loaded baked potato, bacon patty melt, grilled chicken salad, cheese fries, jalapeno stuffed peppers, and more. Don't forget to save room for that cheesecake and cobbler with ice cream. We know you're going to love the food and the service. Abby's Restaurant in downtown Howe. Give them a call, 903-487-8860. Abby's Restaurant.
Sweetie. They've been cutting us off on every kickoff, so we're going to go ahead and
we cut them off.
We're going to cut them off. I'm sorry. We'll get back to that one, Sweetie Pie.
Yeah, I looked down here just now, just kind of looking around since we're outside, and Mr. Bowling sat down here. He made the drive up from Maypearl.
Well, the Bulldogs trying to fight back. Let me update the score. Hey, you're supposed to.
Hey, Monty.
How many weeks have we been doing this?
A bunch. Hey, Monty, update the score.
Thank you.
All right.
24-14 in the 3rd quarter.
Is it going left or right?
I hope it's just kind of going a little bit deep. There we
There
go.
we
There we
go.
go.
There
Pooch
we
kick.
go.
Going to be taken at the 25-yard line. That's the freshman Garland, and he's got a lot of room up to almost midfield. That is Jalen Garland, 5'8", 150 freshman. He's a playmaker. He's going to be their next DJ Hicks, I'm afraid, in the coming years.
Jaden Matthews and Ty Portman. Dylan Monroe made the stop for the Bulldogs.
So, again, field position, the key in this football game. West Rusk has started at their own 40, their own 30, their own 48, the 27, the 49, and now the 46. Starlin wants to throw left side. It's going to be caught by Jones. Breaks the tackle to the 45 and out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Slung out of bounds and points his hands to the sky. The West Rusk fans are all upset. No flags. And it'll be a first down. Again, West Rusk moving left, or right to left, rather.
On your radio dial.
And I'm tired of saying West Rusk.
I know.
That's hard to say.
How about Raiders? Let's just
say Raiders. Everybody knows who we're playing by now, all right? We got it.
I hope so.
We got it. Raiders. Split out wide to the top is Thurman. Jones at the bottom. And this is going to be a handoff. Ballard, right side, runs into Joel Minivar and only gains about a yard up to the 40. they'll actually spot him. One line judge says the other side of the 40, and now he'll agree with the other side, and they'll move it with the nose of the football nearly touching the 40. A gain of, like I said, about 1.5 yards and bring up second down and about 8.5 here as there's 5:08 on the clock in the third quarter. 24-14. Right to left. Go the Raiders. Starling throws down the sideline, and it goes in and out of Jones's hands. He threw a rocket, and it falls incomplete. Jones had it. He had to go up for it a little bit above his head, but the ball hit in both hands, but was just maybe a little bit too much pepper there, and it falls incomplete. 3rd down and 9 coming up.
That had a little bit of pepper on it.
Yeah, that's a little bit of Brett Favre right there.
He could throw that ball.
He could sling it. I bet he could play a little bit of right field.
I bet he can too. I bet he can play, I bet he could. I bet he could chunk that ball.
Thurman split up top, and Jones at the bottom. Hicks in the slot, and this is going to be Starlin looking for him. Wide open, Hicks caught it at the 37-yard line, cuts upfield and out of bounds at the sticks. Going to be a first down at the, well, they'll say he's short. He stepped out just shy at the 32-yard line. So don't move the sticks just yet, young man.
Well, they were fixing to.
They were about to take off with it.
Nick Wilson made the stop for the Bulldogs, run him out of bounds.
4th down and about 1 yard at the 32-yard line.
4:49.
Look out here. Haven't stopped Ballard for no gain yet. He just needs 1 yard. He'll get it here, I guarantee you. Hand off Ballard. He's got the first down and more to the 25-20. And down right there, a nice tackle, a saving tackle by Levi Mrzinski right at the 20-yard line.
That's a lot of boy coming at you right there. Actually, that's a lot of man.
If they don't come back to win this game, you're talking about guys like Mrzinski playing in their last half of football. And that weighs in on those kids.
Oh, yeah.
You got to make every play you can if this is it.
You want to make every play. And when you're a senior, you don't want to come off.
Oh, I remember that night. 1st and 10. And this will be a handoff Ballard, right side, bumping it outside, and escapes one tackle, but can't escape the last one. And again, I think that's Mrzinski over
Actually,
there.
that was Seth Seabolt. Seth Seabolt made the tackle on that one.
Well, you gotta give it to a kid as he holds his arm. He's got a separated shoulder. He makes a tackle right there. He gets up and he holds his shoulder. He's hurting. But that's the toughness and the will of these dogs, and that's the difference in these dogs and the ones that played prior to Zach Hudson. It's different. 2nd down and 7. Starlin in the gun. 2 receivers near side. Handoff. And caught in the backfield for one of the very first times tonight. Hartsfield was there.
Is that Clay Marshall?
Clay Marshall on defense.
That's what I thought. Clay Marshall must have been the nose guard.
So a 3rd and long coming up. The Bulldogs desperately. Oh, this is going to be a false start. False start against West Rusk. The Raiders. The Raiders.
I looked down, so I didn't see the flag till.
So here we go with a 2nd down rather, and about, what are we going to call this, 12? Second and 12 from the 22-yard line.
Let's see what they put on the board. Let's see how good you are.
There's 3:26 on the 3rd quarter clock, and I think it's going to be 2nd down and 11, but it's more like 12.
And they put 2nd and 8.
And this is going to be Starlin throwing it down in the end zone, and it's going to be out of bounds. Nice coverage there, but a terrible throw by Starlin.
He's tried to throw that fade route a couple of times. It just hadn't happened.
When you have a Brett Favre arm, it's hard to throw a fade route.
Right.
So now it's going to be 3rd and 12. Again, the Raiders looking to add to this lead, already leading 24-14 here in Forney over Howe. The defense of the Bulldogs really needing to step up. You've got a cornerback with a broken hand. You've got a safety with a separated shoulder. Needing a stand. Faking to Ballard. Throwing it down in the end zone. Looking for Hicks. It's incomplete. Overthrew him. About 7 yards deep in the end zone. 4th down coming up. And a big stand right there by the Bulldogs.
While we're resetting everything here, Pewitt is on top of Leonard, 27-15. Wascom and Gunner halftime. Wascom 7, Gunner nothing.
Woo!
Wow, what a game.
Woo! 40-yard field goal coming up for the Raiders. And this will be Jose Cerda. They'll move it in now a yard. So a 39-yard attempt. It's on the tee. The kick is up. It's no good. Line drive way, way low. It actually barely made it over the line. And the Bulldogs hold. You talking about having a chance and giving yourself a chance. The Bulldogs just gave themselves a chance.
They did right there. We've got 3 minutes and 7 seconds left in the third.
3:07.
3:07.
And Howe's going to have the ball at their own 22-yard line. 1st and 10. Man in motion is Carroll. This is going to be Wall keeping it around the left side. He's got the 30, trying to bump it out and slowing down after about a 9-yard gain. And I thought I saw a face mask, but apparently I did not. So it'll be 2nd down and short for Howe.
Brendan Thurman made the stop for the Raiders.
So here we go again, 2nd and very, very short. You have a chance to do something that you don't normally do. We'll see if Howe does anything of the abnormal. It's in the man in motion, and Wall's going to keep it. 1st down, straight up the middle to the 40-yard line, a gain of about 7. And right now, the most successful play that the Howe Bulldogs have in their bag is basically the quarterback sneak. It's been successful all night long.
Kevin Jones in on the stop. You know, that's, like I say, they've run that quarterback sneak very successfully.
So a 1st down is still moving the sticks. Howe scores here. We got ourselves a ball game. 1st down and 10. Man in motion, handoff. Left side and right back there. Brent Masters escapes a tackler, but is going to be finally caught back behind the line of about 2 yards. And the Raiders are doing a great job of penetrating that outside and cutting off that reverse. Just doing a masterful job.
LaJavius Harper in on the stop.
What they're doing is they're putting everybody up front. The actual line of scrimmage will see about 9 white jerseys on the line of scrimmage for the Raiders. Just daring Howe to throw the football, daring them. This is going to be a handoff, left side. Grisham in the backfield, another yard loss. They'll actually give him forward progress to the line of scrimmage at the 39-yard line. 3rd and long coming up. 1:22 on the 3rd quarter clock. 3rd and 11 coming up.
We got some guys in there now we don't have numbers for, so I'm sorry. I don't know who made that stop.
Ty Harvey bringing the play in. It'll be 3rd down and 11. He'll be the flanker on the left side. Grisham will split out with him as the flanker, as the inside slot. Wall fakes the hand to Matthews, now gives it to Matthews, coming back on the near side. It did not juke out the Raiders as they snuffed it out immediately, and it's going to be 4th down and 11.
Tyree Wilson made the stop.
Kind of running the draw there, the backwards draw, and it did not work. And now the punt team will come on. 30 seconds on the clock. And remember, the deep snapper is Seth Siebold. He has a separated shoulder on the punt. He's got to snap it back to Wilson. Low snap. Wilson gets it and kicks it off the side of his foot. It's going to bounce out of bounds at about the 41-yard line. They'll spot it at the 42. Now, if that were the NFL, they would walk back to the 50-yard line and give him the ball there.
Right.
But
all right.
West Rusk, the Raiders will start at their own 43. Boy, you keep saying it. You got to have a stop. You got to have a stop. And when you're playing great offenses like this, it's really hard to get that stop. 12 seconds on the 3rd quarter clock. 24-14, Howe trailing to the Raiders of West Rusk.
I didn't think you were going to say West Rusk.
I can't help it. It's old habit.
Old habits are hard to break.
Offset eye, and this will be a handoff. Ballard moving it out to the right side. Lots of room. Look out to the 50. He's got the 45. Gets a great block to the 40, to the 35, and out of bounds there. They'll say he stepped out just shy of the 35 at the 36-yard line.
Levi Merzinski run him out of bounds.
3 seconds on the clock.
Headsets off. The arms are waving. You know, those are the I've been down there. I know that's not a happy man right now.
They move the sticks. 1st and 10 again, this time at the 36-yard line in Howe territory. West Rusk, very, very big and physical. Their offensive line is just enormous. Matter of fact, they average 255 pounds per man. Starlin, handoff, Ballard, right side, met by Hartsfield at the line of scrimmage, and he popped him.
Hartsfield said, I'm tired of that.
Hartsfield just rammed over Ballard, and that's the end of the 3rd quarter. When we come back around these parts, they call it Bulldog Quarter, and it will be just that when we come right back.
Sweetie Pies in Van Alstyne is expanding their great fried pie menu and including vintage candies and boiling sodas made with real sugar cane. You can also order your Spirit Pops black and white candy popcorn. Want to try a slice of cake? You can do that too. It's the fried pies and cookies that's made Sweetie Pies a North Texas treat. Place an order anytime. 972-821-1508. Sweetie Pies is located facing the railroad tracks in downtown Van Alstyne.
There are hundreds of reasons to sign up for Dish because you love TV. But the main one is because Dish is the best value starting at just $19.99 a month for 12 months. Call Cavender Home Theater, your local Dish authorized retailer, to get family favorites at a great price. Call now, 903-892-3499, or go to CavenderTV.com for details. With personal service from your neighborhood expert, your TV and your wallet will love you. Class of 1974. Go Bulldogs!
We believe.
We believe.
We believe that.
Bulldog Quarter.
And this is going to be Helpenstiel and Portman on the very first play of the 4th quarter, taking down Ballard in the backfield, a loss of about 1, maybe 2. They'll give him forward progress back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a half a yard loss, but still 3rd and long coming up. And the Bulldogs need a stop right here. You can't give up any more points. Not tonight.
No, you can't.
24-14. Ballard stands to the left of quarterback Starlin, who wants to throw over the middle. It's going to be caught, and that's Hicks. And Portman brings him down after about a 9-yard gain, maybe a 10-yard gain, but just short of the first down by a half a yard. And you know good and well they're going to go for it here with Ballard.
Actually, DJ Hicks had the first down until he backstepped. He come backwards trying to get around Portman.
Lots of players check out of the game, including Hicks turns around and comes back.
Hicks said, I'm just joking.
You know good and well what's coming right here. Everybody knows it. Everybody in the house knows it. You've got the big bowling ball of a running back needing 1 yard. Starling, handoff, and he bowls his way to a first down at the 25-yard line. Hang on. What happened? The Bulldogs have held. The line judge on the far side said, was his knee down?
I don't know.
Did he fall down? He had the first down, but the line judge on the far side saw something.
He blew the whistle quick.
Whether his knee somehow hit the ground before, but the Bulldogs have held.
We got Spotter here and Coach Elvington standing here beside us, said he fell down.
He fell down. So Howe takes over at the 27-yard line. 10:31 on the clock. Wall wants to throw the football down the side. He's got his man. It's caught by Grisham. That's Carroll, rather. And he'll gain 6 yards.
Carroll caught the ball and run out of bounds by Kevin Jones.
It'll be 2nd down and 4.5 coming up. Howe on their own side of the field, moving right to left. Landry Elvington brings the play in. There's 10:25 on the clock. It stopped after Carroll got out of bounds. Landry Elvington split out wide to the right. 2 slots, and now Carroll goes in motion, and Wall's going to keep it up the middle. It's going to be close to a first down, and he's going to be right at the spot. It'll probably be a first down, but they may have to check. Nope, they're going to go ahead and move it. First down.
Jacob Waller.
Again, the chains were going ahead and moving, but they had not indicated anything yet. And now they're going to move.
Yeah, I know it real sure happened there.
This is a rough night for the chain crew.
It is.
1st and 10. Carroll goes in motion. Handoff. And first man through goes down immediately. Was that Matthews or?
No, it's Griffin.
Griffin.
And John White come up with the ball, but I think he was down.
Yeah, they're going to say that Griffin was down, and that'll bring up 2nd down and long as Griffin, as soon as he got the football, just was knocked down immediately. Harvey brought the play in. He'll come to the near side, along with Grisham, who is in the slot. Wall throws the screen out to Grisham. Gets a block and gains about 3, still fighting, and gains about 6 when it's all said and done. 3rd down and 4 coming up.
That's something we haven't seen.
That's the first time we have seen the screen all year.
John Wright and Jacob Waller made the stop.
3rd and 5.
You know, that's one of them that you say, this is where you need to pull out something you haven't done.
Now here's Blevins checking into the game, and he has a broken hand. He will not be catching the football. He's the tight end. And Wall to Carroll on the right side. He's got some room in the first down to the 47-yard line. They'll move the sticks again. He just got enough to move them. Brent Masters checking into the game. There's 8:59 on the clock. Howe needs to score and score quickly, trailing by two touchdowns. You got to get 2 scores here.
Yeah, you got to get 2 scores.
You got to get in pretty quickly right here. They break the huddle, run to the line of scrimmage. Wall sends a man in motion. Masters hands to him, looking for a block by Griffin. Gets a great block by Griffin, but there's too many men on the outside, and they close the gap, and it's a 2-yard loss. There's just too many white jerseys towards the edge, more than blockers.
Right.
Now Griffin came out, got a great block, sealed that edge, but there's 2 more guys there.
Right, and there are 2 more big guys right there that are filling in them holes, and it's just the quickness.
2nd down and 12 now after the 2-yard loss. Griffin the fullback, and Masters will get the pitch on the outside. Gets a great block by Tyler Grisham, but again, there's a flag down. He got maybe a yard, but let's check the flag. There is a man down, and is that DJ Hicks rolling around on the ground?
Yes, sir.
And he's getting up very gimpy. Something wrong with his left leg. We'll see what the flag is, as Grisham got a great block, and that may have been the block. We'll see. Holding against Howe. Well, really the first penalty of the night.
Right is.
Against Howe. They've played a pretty clean game, but the speed over there on that defense is just remarkable. And Masters will check out of the game. Carroll checks in. Carroll, one of the few seniors on this football team, but a big one. Seabold checking into the game.
He's one of those guys you're going to miss.
Yep. But let's hope we talk about that some other day.
Right. Not tonight.
2nd down and 20. And Wall and flags fly before we can get this one underway. False start against Howe. So now things starting to unravel a little bit.
All right, guys, you just got to calm down a little bit.
Calm down.
We still got 7 minutes. We got plenty of time.
2nd down and 25 coming up.
That says it right there. You hear somebody in the stands holler, "Do what you do."
Seabold checks into the game. You hear that? We believe in the Dogs. You hear it. You hear that chant. 2nd down and 25. Stump Matthews checks into the game. And now the officials are still wanting to talk about something here.
Stopping the clock.
There's 7:10 on the clock right now. I have a feeling this conversation is having to do with the clock.
Yeah, I think the clock started.
Matt Griffin is checking into the game, and Stump Matthews is checking out. So a change in whatever Dale West was going to do there has been a change.
Well, Matt Griffin looked like he might have been, maybe, that blood rule. He may have had a scratch or something they had to cover.
So now Griffin will check out. Stump Matthews checks back in. Coach Hudson and the umpire looking up here in the press box. They're trying to get the time right. Trying to figure out the exact time. Right now there's 7:10 on the clock. And the officials are saying there should be something else.
I think he looks like he's doing 7:30. Wow, hey, that's a good one. Let's start there.
And we got 73 minutes left, apparently. That's going to give us enough time. The kids are going to be worn out. Now they move it to 7:30.
Well, it might be cold. It might be midnight before we go home. We do that.
Second down.
That's kind of like the chain crew. They're having a rough night.
And 25. Everybody loaded up on the right side. Now man in motion. This is going to be a handoff. Tyler Grisham caught right there after about a 2-yard gain. Trying to run a counter there.
Stratton Carroll.
And Carroll, rather, on the carry rather than Tyler Grisham.
Vaughn Lodkey made the stop for the West Rusk Raiders.
Ball spotted at the 34-yard line.
Say that fast 3 times.
Can't do it. 7 minutes on the clock and rolling. Seabolt into the game. Marshall breaks the huddle. Everybody else comes to the line of scrimmage. Third and very long. Wall's going to keep it. Right side met almost immediately. Brought down after about a 2-yard gain. The official runs to the middle of the pile like he normally does when there's a fumble, but there is not. But it will be 4th down and very, very long. 4th and about 21 or 22. And Wilson will have to punt. And this is deadly, deadly, deadly. The penalty was deadly.
Yes, it was.
Wilson's punt is a low line drive or end over end kick, rather. It's going to be taken by Jones. And he'll come up to the 39-yard line. They'll actually give him the 40, and that's where the Raiders will take over at their own 40 with 6:10 left to go in this game. Howe trailing by 2 scores. They, at this point, you not only need a stop, you really need a turnover.
Right.
And the only way you're going to do that is strip the ball away from Ballard, because I doubt very seriously they're going to put the ball in the air at any time soon.
Yeah, I wouldn't think they would do too much throwing.
1st down and 10, left to right are the Raiders, and they're going to hand off to Ballard, left side, wide open hole. He gains 8 yards and goes out of bounds.
Zach Blevins running out of bounds.
You would think that Ballard would have the wherewithal to stay in bounds, but he just ran straight out of bounds over there. Wasn't really pushed, but that stops the clock at 6:05 and sets up a 2nd down and short. 2nd down and 2 coming up, just shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. Needing a stop. Starling, handoff, Ballard, right side, another big hole, but it closes up pretty quickly, and he's going to be right at the 1st down marker. I'm not sure he got it. It's going to be about a half-yard short, just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Needing another yard.
Andrew Griffin in on the stop.
3rd and short coming up. You got a score from Gunner.
Gunner is still showing halftime 7-0 Washington. I don't think anybody's updated. Well, hold on. Still showing 7-0. 27-15 Pewitt over Leonard.
Starling, handoff. Ballard again, 1st down. And now it's going to be tough. Crossing midfield into Howe territory at the 48-yard line.
Like Mike Heppenstall and Tristan Matthews in on the stop. The
Bulldogs desperately need to just strip the ball away, as Edgewood did last week against Tyler Grisham. Just take it out of Ballard's hands. You've got to, at this point, just try to take the ball away. Clock still rolling at 5:05. Howe's got to score twice. At this point, we're getting to John Tyler start talk right here. And it's going to be Helping Still. Had him for a moment, but Ballard breaks free for 5 yards. Helping Still had him in the backfield with his arms around him, but you're talking about a back who is way bigger than your defensive tackle.
Right, and he is bigger.
And quick. You know, this is we're talking about a special type of team here in West Rust. They have size up front, they have speed on the edge, and they have a dominating big back. And they have a quarterback who has a cannon. We're talking about a really good offense.
Yes, they do.
Defensively, marginal. Offensively, tremendous. Here's a handoff. Ballard, right side, and he'll gain 2 yards to the 42-yard line.
I mean,
now they're in Bulldog mode of just killing the clock here.
Even when you think he's down, he's just going to run over you. He's such a big kid. He's not real tall. He's just big. Jerome Bettis is what Steven says.
Very similar.
Pottsboro is losing to White Oak High School.
Oh, my.
17-3 at halftime.
Oh, my. Somehow that in the mud or something? Here's a handoff. Ballard, right side, lots of room. And he carries Portman for a ride for about 10 yards.
I don't know if that's in the mud or not.
I think Portman just got on the bus right there.
Right, he did, rode that one down.
Ballard may want to charge admission for that free ride. For that ride.
Right. You know, it that is. You know, you can't say enough. You know, you just can't describe it how big he is.
Yeah, he's a big back. 1st and 10. Handoff, Ballard. And he'll fight and surge forward for 5 yards. 2:51, and he is their closer. You know, when they get a lead, he's their closer.
Yeah, Joel Minivar in on the stop.
And
there's just you know, we have size on our side of the ball.
2:37 on the clock.
You know, we have size on our side of the ball. We just can't. Sometimes you just cannot counteract somebody like that.
You know, you got to tip your hand and tip your hat, rather, to the seniors as we're getting to about the 2-minute mark here. Ballard just wearing down the defense. Great block on the edge. He's got the 20. He's got the 18-yard line. Stays in bounds. Now a late flag comes in.
It looks like it may be against Howe. I'm thinking we're going to get called for late hit.
Well, it was at the very end of the play.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be against, unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be against Hartsfield.
Well, I can't tell. You know, last week they gave the names out over the
right.
PA.
And that's what it looked like it was. And I could be wrong, but it looked like it was him that come in there right there at the end.
Well, the ball's going to be spotted inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Now there's a timeout been called. Let's keep it right here. Let's talk about some of these seniors. Levi Mrzinski, as you know, he was out at the beginning of the year, came back and fought through some injuries in the beginning, but you know, you have to say great things about Levi, who played a great safety. And also, you're going to miss Nick Wilson, the cornerback, who did just about everything textbook that you could do in high school football as a cornerback. Also a great punter. And you got to talk about Zach Blevins, the other corner. Now, the Bulldogs are going to lose both of their corners to graduation. Zach Blevins playing tonight with a broken right hand. Stratton Carroll came back from a torn ACL on Halloween last year against Whitewright. did all the rehab, came back for this football season and had just an outstanding year. Came into tonight, 72 carries, 560 yards on the season, 5 touchdowns. He did run a 63-yarder, the longest on the season for him. But, you know, it was obvious that he didn't have that burst that he had a year ago. But that's to be expected when you tear your ACL.
Right, and you got Joel Minivar. You know, he tore his ACL the same night.
Handoff to Ballard, and Hartsfield grabs him behind the line. And then Ty Portman, you're going to lose the best defensive end Howe's had in probably 20 years.
Yes.
And then that's not a joke.
No.
Maybe 25 years.
Ty Portman, he's a monster, man. You tell him just go get the ball, and he's going to go get it.
Stump Matthews will graduate, and Stump the nose guard, and also played a huge role in blocking in that power set on offense. Hunter Morrow played his last game and actually only got to play about the first series. And this will be a handoff to, once again, he's got to be getting tired. And that's Ballard. And he's brought down after about a yard.
Timeout.
A minute and 20 on the clock, and Howe takes a timeout. Joel Minivar, as you mentioned, a torn ACL, came back in just a monster role on this team this year on defense. Ethan Price will graduate. Austin Bearden, a huge offensive lineman and a third-generation Howe Bulldog, will graduate. Tyler Bellows will graduate. And I tell you what, there's just a lot of great seniors.
Yes, there are
on this.
This
field.
And some of these seniors will be moving on, to basketball. And you don't want to. You would rather be playing next week. But you do definitely have some standouts on the football field that stand out on the basketball court.
You hear that? Did you hear that?
Yeah.
West Rusk playing that? Huh.
You've got, Nick Wilson, Levi Merzinski. They're not done for the year by any means. Zach Blevins, baseball. But you don't want this ride to end. But if this ride's going to end, you can pick it up with some of the greatness for the rest of the year.
Well, it's going to be 3rd and goal now. 1:20 on the clock, and Howe jumps off sides. Helpenstell knows he did it, and as soon as he made contact, he just was really upset, and that will move the ball 5 yards closer from the 12. Now, we've talked about who's going to graduate and who's going to be lost. Who's coming back? Andrew Griffin is a sophomore, and he'll be a 3-year starter next year with a year left.
Right.
Winston Moss, Elvington, Jaden Matthews, Brandon Wall, the quarterback. Seth Seabolt will be back. As here we go with 3rd and 7. And now, what do we got? A timeout by the Raiders. Now, we talked about Jaden Matthews. Okay, that's a big one. Brandon Wall, that's a big one too. Seabolt coming back. Man, you talk about a tough kid playing tonight with a separated shoulder.
You got, Heppenstall. He'll be back.
Winston Moss will be back. Dylan Moreau. Bryce Honecker, the great kicker. Brent Masters, the speedster on the outside. Zach Braswell, as we know a little bit about Zach Braswell up here. He'll be back next year and playing a pretty prominent role. Tyler Grisham, the leading rusher this year for the Howe Bulldogs. Not leading, as Jaden Matthews actually the leader, but both those guys will come back. Chase Harvey, the sophomore, will be back. Jacob Taylor, the great linebacker, will be back. He is a sophomore. William Overby will be back. He's a junior. Mike Helpenstell will be back. He's a junior. Connor Jackson will play a big role. He's a sophomore. Mason Murray. Clay Marshall will be back. He's a sophomore. Tanner Hartsfield will be back. Tim Helpenstill. Brennan Ross, a junior, will be back. And Ty Harvey, the sophomore. And Matt Griffin as a junior. There's a handoff. Right side into the end zone. Touchdown, Ballard. So a late score will make it look worse than it actually is. But a 7-yard touchdown there by Ballard. And that extends their lead with only moments left to go. There's only a minute 16 left to go, so a late touchdown there extends the lead for the moment 30-14, and the extra point is up, and it is good. 31-14. The Raiders leading this one. We'll be back here in just a moment with more Howe Bulldog football.
The Howe Athletic Booster Club invites you to become a supporter of the Howe Bulldogs.
And the type of kids we have, they're just hard workers and do anything you ask.
Memberships are $25 and will be available at all home games. All proceeds benefit high school and middle school athletic programs. Please join the Howe Athletic Booster Club in our efforts to support our hometown kids.
When people come here, it's something they can be proud of.
Well, we're back, and the Bulldogs about to receive the kickoff as Ballard just scored from 7 yards out to up the West Rusk lead, 31-14. And what an amazing season it's been. And if you look statistically, it is one of the best seasons ever in Howe history, statistically, scoring-wise and defensively. And the kick is going to be a high, deep kick. It will be taken at the 12-yard line. And I believe that's Wall coming up the far hash. Look out to the 40. Escapes the defender, cuts back towards midfield, a flag down. And the ball for a moment is just shy of midfield, but this is probably a blocking infraction against Howe.
Yeah, I would think so.
Holding against Howe, and they'll move that one back. It's a spot foul, so we'll see where they actually spot the ball. A minute 8 left. And Blevins into the game. I'm sure it's going to be a senior lead in offense right here. Carroll and Blevins. Of course, Matthew's still in there. Tyler Grisham's still in there. Brandon Wall on the reverse to Carroll, and he'll gain 2 yards up to the 36-yard line. And again, if you look at it, where this defense has gone since Zach Hudson got here. The year before Coach Hudson got here, it was statistically the worst defense in Howe history by points allowed.
Right.
You fast forward that to now, and it's one of the best. It's about 20th out of 72 teams. And this is going to be a handoff up the middle. Not much doing there. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down coming up. Clock right now at 25 seconds. And that's probably going to be it. Hudson calls everybody to the sideline. And for the last time, Stratton Carroll unbuckles his helmet. Walks to the sideline. And I understand, and a lot of people do, that if you've ever played before and you get that last moment, you don't ever want to take your helmet off. You just never want to take that helmet off. And the Bulldogs are having a handshake with the other team across the field.
Even when I was all those losing years in Anna.
Did y'all have helmets?
Yes. But, that last game of the year, that senior game, when you're done for the last time, it's like, okay, what do I do now? I've got up, I've made the, I've put forth the effort for 10 weeks. Now what? I don't play basketball. What do I do now? Well, you lift, you build momentum, and you get ready for next year and do it all over again.
That's the hardest part what now? When you've played so much, and that's what you've done. Basically, you're, from third grade, maybe even kindergarten for some of these kids now that start playing football in kindergarten. That's all they know. In the fall, you strap it on.
Right.
And when that stops, you just don't know what to do. And that plays with some people's mind. I understand how that works. And here's the school song. One last horn for the Howe Bulldogs. It didn't end like you wanted it to tonight, but what a remarkable season that these Bulldogs have had. And if we can remember back, and we can remember 2-8s, and you can remember 3-7s, and you can remember 3-7 and 3-7 and 2-8 and 4-6 and 5-5, and for the past 2 years. Those are ancient memories. Those are gone. The program has completely turned itself around. And as long as Zach Hudson is here, as long as Dale West is here, and as long as these coaches are here, you just have that feeling that no matter who's out there, no matter what this roster says, they're going to be good because, one, they're going to have the kids buying in to what they sell. And those kids have bought in 2 years in a row. They're back-to-back by-district champions for the first time in 25 years. And it just goes to show what a town can do, what a city can do, what a school can do when everybody rallies together. And it's been one of those, it's been 24 months now, not even that. It's been about, 20 months since everything started turning around here.
Right.
It was after Gunner last year.
Right.
And when they beat Tom Bean at home 48-12 a year ago and ran for 9,000 yards, and I believe Anthony Hawthorne scored 5 touchdowns that night. And from that point to now, everything has changed.
Right.
Everything. And it's just so good to see that, I hope people understand when the football team is good, it has an effect on the community. It has an effect on everyone's attitude around here. Hey, I'll tell you what, as an economic developer, my best friend is a really good football coach in a small Texas town. That is absolutely the truth. So, we've already said and pointed out the seniors that are going to be graduating. We've told you who's coming back. We've told you that Howe's going to move up to Division I next year. That is that's not news that anyone's excited about. I understand that.
Yeah,
but you could go into that with a team that you don't feel good about. With Howe, you don't have that situation. As long as you keep the band together, so to speak, with Hudson and West and those guys, there's hope. And you know that it doesn't matter if they play Van Alstyne, Pilot Point, Pottsboro, which they will. They're going to play those cats. But you know that they're going to have a fighting chance with anybody they have on their roster, with anybody on the field, just because of who's in place.
Right. And they have got – you're going to miss those guys, but you're going to fill in those guys with somebody just as good that's, they may not be as big, but they're going to be as fast. And, not just next year. You got the year after that. I mean, look how far back you can go. You can go back to the 3rd and 4th grade. Look what you got coming that far back. not counting what you got in kindergarten and first grade. Howe's they're on a roll, and they're going to just get better, and they're going to get better. They're going to struggle. Yeah, I mean, we rolled baby back in with those bigger teams, but we rolled in with them bigger teams a couple of years ago, and we did okay. And we have a new staff, a new direction. We're going to be just fine.
I just want to say thank you to you and Stephen.
Man, this is a blast.
All year long, you guys have been there, except Stephen. He went to Oregon 1 week. But, it's just been so much fun, and you guys helping me out. It's just what it allows the team to have and the city to have is that extra, something special for the team. And not only that, but Howe, if you look at last week's numbers, Howe has become, like, dare I say, America's team, high school football team. 26 different states tuned in last week to hear Howe Bulldog football. And almost 1,000 people. And tonight, we had so many people logged in tonight that it short-circuited the whole system.
Right, it knocked us off.
So,
but, those 26 different states last year got the game of the year.
Oh, it was.
They actually got the game of the last
20
years, yeah.
25 years.
I mean, what a come-from-behind victory. And it's, it's not – Coach Hudson can coach them, but he can't make them do it on the field.
That's right.
And it's all heart and all want to, and that's fantastic. And I think you got groups coming that are going to be the same way.
So much heart. And, what this does is, you might see a little – even if there's a lull somewhere, a class or so that's not really the most athletically gifted class, let's say. Well, just being here and watching this has a huge impact on those classes below.
Right.
Because it transforms the mentality of, here we go again, 3-7, here we go again, oh, we're 4-6, to, hey, we're expected to go 2 rounds, 3 rounds deep in the playoffs. That's the bar.
Yep, and they set that bar last year and again this year, and next year it'll be even higher. And, these guys, you can't say enough about them.
Well, they fought and they didn't give up, not even tonight, not to the last minute. They were still trying to run reverses and things like that. And I'll tell you what, all these naysayers, if you want to talk about, they're one-dimensional. They only run the football, and they finally ran into a team that stopped them. You can say all that, but you also have to say that this is the #1 ranked offense in the history of Howe Bulldog football. In the history. I'm not talking about one of the better teams. I'm talking about the best scoring offense in the history of the 72-year program. So you can talk all you want about them not being dimensional enough for you and throwing the football and all that. But keep in mind, nobody has done it better.
Right.
Nobody.
Nope.
So with that, I will end it, and we will see you in August. For everyone who's been a part of this one, including Michael Moach, Stephen Braswell, we want to thank you guys so much. I want to thank you, the listening audience. You've been here with us all year long. And we've had some audio difficulties early in the year and early in the game tonight. You fought with us and stayed with us, and I really appreciate that. And I really sincerely appreciate your enthusiasm for Howe Bulldog football, because we share that in common. For everyone who's been a part of this one, I'm Monty Walker. We will see you in August.
Kiss him goodbye. It is touchdown time in Texas.
Here they come again.
Grisham again, same play. He's got the 15, he's got the 10. Dragging a man to the 5. Kiss him goodbye. It is touchdown time in Texas.
Our goal now is to win, period.
61 yards.
Catch us if you can.
Howe Bulldogs football has been brought to you by Cavender Home Theater, Bill French Properties, Sweetie Pies by Karen, Howe Mercantile, Sonic of Howe, Scoggins Funeral Home, Carrie's Coffee Company, Abby's Restaurant, 3G Brand, and Micah Belden Attorney.
Howe, your Bulldogs are headed to the regional championship game for the first time since 1990.
Catch us if